out here. Sorry.
And you can get me all addicted to drugs.
No, those days are done and over with.
I don't know why you're taking your glasses off, Perry. You still need them.
Because I'm going to beat the living fucking shit out of this fucking
Well, then you're going to be paying him $100 every time you touch him.
Oh, $100? If he's alive, he'll get $100.
No. Alive or dead, he gets $100. Get those glasses back on your dopey face right now.
I'm a dope. Yup.
Mr. Parolacci.
Baby, it's Heidi from the Toyota Service Department. We need to see you immediately about your car. Don't let Toom boss you around. Come flirt with me.
Got it, Heidi. Thank you, love. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.
Sorry, just almost ready to go. But
no, she's a very sweet young lady.
While I finish setting up.
Tomorrow.
Time for you to leave women alone.
No, what is tomorrow? Oh. Tuesday?
Yes, tomorrow's Tuesday.
Saturday. I don't even remember what the fuck day it is. Monday, I'll see her. Monday.
Perry, go fuck yourself. I don't think you hear that enough. So go, fuck yourself. You fat-titted smelly mongrel.
Yeah, you too, Chief.
Yeah, sorry. No, hold on. No, that was Perry Caravello live. It was live currently, so I was watching it. That's a whole nother lolcow I'm not getting into, so we're not going to do that. But I think I'm ready to go here. Give me one more second just to check everything. Make sure everything is good. I don't even know what my favorite country would be, because like unfortunately I've only ever been to the US and Canada. I haven't traveled abroad or anything, so I like from personal experience, I guess maybe just the US, just because I live here. But I mean, I'm not super patriotic either, so I mean, I'm like, I would love to go actually vacation and visit other places like Japan, Ireland, like the other one, Switzerland would be kind of cool, you know, but I just can't really afford it. All right, hopefully this is recording. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Testing. All right, now I just gotta make sure that I am live right now. I've had it happen where I was talking and everything that wasn't actually... Like, I know OBS claims I'm streaming, I just like to make sure. Testing. Say something. No. Testing. Say something. Yep, it's working. Okay, cool. Cool. Alrighty. So, I was just going to have this be a DSP catch-up stream because I have a lot to catch up on. But I wanted to, I've been told a few times that I should try to branch out into other lolcows or whatever. A bit, get to know some of the lolcows a little bit. I mean, I have been watching Detractor content on King Cobra before, on Foodie Booty and Amberlyn Reed before, stuff like that, people like that. I don't know a whole lot about Cyrax, but I know of Cyrax. And I've recently been watching some Detractor content on Patrick Tomlinson, whatever, however you pronounce him. I've been watching some of that too. But we have here is a Turkey Tom mini documentary, brief introduction history of Keffals, who apparently is some kind of trans advocate online or something like that, but is a lolcow in her own right. Yes, she is trans. Yes, I'm going to be referring to her as her preferred pronouns because it's just common decency, and I'm just gonna do it. Whatever. I don't really care if what other people identify her as or whatever. I don't care. I'm just gonna be respectful and use the pronouns that I think they will prefer. Anyway, what was that? Stray Tractor brought up a good. I mean, I know what you mean, but like, I feel like DSP is too much of a pussy to talk shit about to talk shit to Cat like that, to yell at Cat. I kind of feel like Cat will kind of smacks him around him maybe a little bit, and he has no outlet to vent his anger because he can't vent his anger to Cat, right? So I feel like maybe him venting his anger at his fans like he does is his only avenue to vent his frustrations at, right? Because I know you're not trying to start a politics or anything like that. It's fine. It's just, I don't know, like, as a kid, obviously we were all brainwashed into like standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and being lied to, saying that we're the best country in the world when we're not. And I really don't like how our country tries to police the entire rest of the world like it's any of our business when we can't even take care of ourselves. We can't take care of our vets who actually fought for this country, but then our government basically just abandons them essentially after they come back. How we can't take care of our failing infrastructure or take care of the corruption in our government or anything like that. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of our government, I guess. But anyway. So without further ado, hopefully this ain't too loud, we're gonna get started. It is unfortunately an hour long. I was looking up multiple different documentaries on her, and all of them are over an hour. They're like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm like, I just want a short one.
If you're a fan of Destiny, or you're
we're gonna get
active on
started.
Twitter, or you use Kiwi Farms,
Plus, Turkey Times is a pretty good avenue for watching this sort of stuff.
or you just pay attention to online drama, then you probably at least have heard the name Keffals. She's a pretty controversial figure in the community in general, and a lot of people have a lot to say about her. So I had someone on my stream attempt to explain the lore behind the entire Keffals story, and at least attempt to summarize it. Here it is.
Yeah, you go ahead. I mean, I guess we're starting off, do you know how Keffals first got popular?
Streaming?
Yes. Smile slightly.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't a big following. It was mainly getting Destiny banned. That was the big thing.
So this was
people have kind of forgotten about that.
Keffals is a live streamer on Twitch. She's been around on the internet for way longer than she's been famous though, obviously, right?
Streaming like 2.5 years, I want to say now, maybe a little longer.
What was she doing before she was streaming? Because she was around on. She was like a
Hey,
camera
Drake, how
or
you
something,
doing?
right?
Oh, okay, well,
How am I getting hacked?
I don't have 100% proof of that, and I wouldn't want to show it, but I think we've got enough videos and clips where, yeah, there's probably a high likelihood there was coming, but it's also under different names. I mean, the Keffals brand is very separate from everything else. It's almost
Okay.
like two different categories. There's everything else, and then there's the Keffals stuff.
Right.
Keffals is the political persona, like the one that's advocating trans rights, wants to create a supposedly cleaner internet, and is standing up for the little guy. You know, other things like the Catboy Ranch, the sex stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to judge too much.
The
but
Catboy
that's
Ranch
very
is
different.
totally unverified, right? We don't know that.
Oh, yes and no. My point more so being,
Yeah, I
I
have
wouldn't
no
want
idea
to
about any of
associate
that,
the two
so.
together. You know, Clara is her new name. I think Clara has two different categories. But no, Keffals had a very small, tight-knit community at first. Like, it wasn't massive, but it was pretty supportive. I mean, everyone kind of knew each other, that kind of community.
Okay, so Keffals. The first way I heard of Keffals was because of Destiny.
Yeah.
And Keffals went after Destiny. Why did they go after Destiny? Was it because of the was it Leah Thomas? Is that the trans swimmer?
Yeah, so at the time,
Right, I think I
unbiased
do
as
remember
possible.
that.
At the time, Leah Thompson was in the big topic for even like boomers and people in the mainstream because it's a transgender woman in swimming, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
And Destiny was asked on stream, "What's your opinion?" And
Well, that's
I
one
will
thing you can rely on is that this channel will never be super busy or have a lot of people.
into too much
You don't have
detail,
to worry
basically
about
what
that.
Destiny said is,
But I appreciate you
don't
being here.
think Leah should be allowed to compete in female-only sport, at least not now.
Do you
I don't
wanna
know
go
a
into
whole lot
detail
about
'cause it's
Destiny
TOS,
either.
Or is it just like that's all
TOS,
that
but also I
matters?
don't fully remember now. I mean, this was almost a year ago now. This is 9 or 10 months ago.
Okay, so 9 or 10 months ago, and that's really when to think about, that's when all this started. So let's call it a year, right? So a year ago.
I want to say a year, but I mean it was like at the beginning of March.
Yeah. So a year ago, Destiny is on stream. He's a political streamer. He's asked about Leah Thomas, and
I also think it's important to mention the reason people got so upset at Keffals in this before they even knew Keffals is because Destiny is probably one of the bigger or one of the more open trans, like more supportive trans streamers. I think he's pretty okay with trans rights. He's stood up for them. He's questioned a lot of conservatives and a lot of critics of the movement.
Right.
I don't think you could really favorably argue that he is a transphobe.
He's not a transphobe. He's somewhat anti-leftist. That's fair.
I guess, yeah. I mean, the truth is, you probably know more about Destiny specifically than I do.
So I'm a big Destiny fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably know that, or maybe you do know.
No, of
you
course.
Know,
yeah,
but I'm a Destiny fan.
DGG.
Big DGGer, big N.GGer, and
yeah, I don't know.
I watched
who
him for a while.
Destiny
It's
is.
sort of the thing that Destiny
I've
does every
heard of
few
him,
years is
but-
he sort of purges his audience of people he thinks are only there to see him give like takes for one side. So he used to be sort of a gamer bro, and then he had to purge his audience because he felt that they were full of like transphobes and like right wingers who were not thinking critically. And his way to purge that was to have a debate with JonTron, which is like the first infamous thing Destiny did.
It's like his third most popular video on YouTube, isn't it?
To this day, I think, yeah. And at the time that it happened, he got a lot of shit for that. But looking back, he was honestly kind of right with what he was saying. Something that I wasn't even ready for at the time to acknowledge. That JonTron was, I don't know that he was a Nazi, but he was spouting a lot of far right talking points, right?
Yeah, he does. I don't like
I mean, John's major mistake was that he did like what your right wing grandpa would do. He just sort of went off headlines alone. And
right.
I think Destiny was a bit more equipped with, well, I read into that, and here's why I don't trust that as much.
And so
I mean, you can't.
No, go ahead.
Well, I mean, John just can't defend against that when John's got a surface level understanding. I don't mean in a mean way. I just mean in a genuine way. When you're in a debate, you just can't have the surface level understanding of these headlines.
Right. And beyond that, I think the kind of thing that Destiny is known for is now he attacks leftists, because once he started to attack right wingers, he sort of accumulated this left wing audience, and then he got a bunch of people on that side who weren't thinking critically and were like
this whole thing about left and right. This shouldn't be a political issue. Like, obviously, not all right leaning people are racist or homophobic or transphobic, and not all left leaning people are be like, I'll bring all the immigrants over, and it's like we don't need any laws or get rid of the police altogether. It's like this is all kind of, in a way, just oversimplification, but
retards, and they were like communists, and they weren't consistent with their beliefs and stuff like that. And so
I don't know a whole lot about JonTron, to be honest. Like, I've watched some of his stuff, yeah, but I don't really know him. Like, I guess he... Oh, no, that is true, because I do remember he was, like, the voice in the ukulele game, and then they pulled his voice from one of the characters in there because he was spouting some kind of like not neo-Nazi-ish thing on Twitter or something like that. So he was saying some pretty questionable shit, I think, if I remember correctly, on Twitter. And that's why they pulled his voice from the ukulele game, and that was a long time ago.
Purge his audience of
that's
that. And
all
so that's
I
why
know
he's
about him.
An enemy
is that
of both
and
the
watching
right
his
and the
shit
left in a way,
on
even though
YouTube.
he's pretty left wing, but he's more of a liberal than a socialist, right? He's more of a liberal than a leftist.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's the omni-liberal on Twitter and everything.
Exactly.
Like, I think it's unfair.
And I do remember Destiny was the one who was like reading off DSP's like advice for buying a new car or something like that, or used car or something
he's
like
been critical of a lot of stuff,
and it was
often
pretty
critical
funny
of
that.
left-wingers, and in
That's
this
all
case,
I really know of
critical of
Destiny.
left-wingers for claiming that someone who was originally a biological man and had transitioned into a biological female, he was like, they shouldn't be in the Olympics, and this caught Keffals' attention somehow.
Yeah, well, that's why I bring all this up, because Keffals originally got a massive push way. I think the Twitter algorithm just loved her tweet, because she was the one that reported Destiny for this clip, got him banned, and it's famous tweet now. It's on Twitch. So yeah, so Keffals, again, smaller Twitch streamer, got this clip, report.
All right, so I'm trying to watch this from the standpoint of another trans person, right? And not all trans people think alike. I get where people are coming from in terms of like it's like a no-win situation, right? Because like obviously this whole segment is gonna be a bit political, not in terms of left and right, but in terms of like transgender rights and all this, right? Okay, so this is me as a trans person, because I am technically non-binary. I originally identified as a trans woman, and now I am non-binary. I identify as non-binary because as the years went on, I did more self-reflection, and I'm like, no, I don't think either male or female really fits me. I just don't really feel like I belong in either one. Whatever. It's not that big a deal. It's not about me here. But I am putting my point of view out there. The whole problem with trans people in sports, because trans works both ways. When you say transgender, people instantly only ever think of trans women. They don't think of trans men at all, which is a shame because like there's just as many transgender males as there is transgender women, right? So it is a little difficult when you have a trans woman or a trans man trying to compete in a sport because it's like they don't really fit into either one. Now, it also depends on how far along they are in their transition, because if you are a trans woman and you've been taking hormones for years and years, that is going to greatly diminish your muscle mass. You are going to lose muscle. You are going to get weaker because you have lost muscle because you're taking estrogen for so many years, right? So it's not really fair for them to compete in the man's section of the Olympics because they are not on the same playing field as a man. But on the same time, they might still be more stronger than a biological woman would be. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation for the trans people in general because they don't really fit into either one in terms of like biological strength. Because again, if they have been taking hormones for a long time, they are not the same muscle mass wise as a biological man would be. So, but if they were just transitioning and haven't taken any hormones yet, then yes, they're going to have the same muscle mass as a trans man, or as a biological man would be, because they haven't transitioned yet. So non-binary is a group of people that falls under the transgender umbrella that do not identify with male or female. So that could mean that they don't feel that they feel that they do not have any gender whatsoever. They could be gender fluid, with one day they feel like a male and the next day they feel like a female, and anything in between that spectrum. It's like a catch-all spectrum for people who don't feel male or female whatsoever, one way or the other. So they could just be fluid and go from one end to the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum. It could just be that they don't feel like they're on the spectrum at all. It's just kind of that. It's a subsection of transgenderism. I think DSP might be more gay than he thinks, or like, because I don't think anyone is 100% gay or 100% straight. Again, I feel everything is a spectrum. So I think being gay or straight is a spectrum also, and he's probably leaning more gay than straight at this point. Well, yeah, that is the joke, obviously, but that would be a whole different. I don't think obviously no one's actually ever thought that or identified as that. And then, because that's the confusion you get with furries too, because I'm a furry, but that doesn't mean I identify as a fox, right? Those are two separate things, because you got furries who just enjoy the art, enjoy the culture, enjoy the community, and then you got like Therians and otherkin who actually identify as the animal itself. So that is two separate sides of it, right? But going back to this, because you have the two big talking points with transgenderism is the bathroom issue and the competing in sports issue. And the bathroom issue is a lot more easier fixed and solved by just adding more gender neutral single-use bathrooms. Could fix everything, right? I'm not on the rant again. I was just pointing it out in comparison. But so it's like the bathroom issue is kind of a nothing burger at this point, because it's like, if you are looking more feminine than masculine, use the women's restroom. If you're looking more masculine than feminine, use the male's bathroom. Or just give us more gender neutral bathrooms, and that's all that you need to do, right? So that's not that big a problem. The problem comes with the whole sports issue, because it's like, depending on where they are and where they lie in their transition, they could be very early in the transition where they're still very much similar to a biological male, or they could be all the way deep in the transition where they lost a lot of muscle mass and they don't really fit into the male or the female side. So it's kind of like a no real good answer for this issue, but I can see where someone says, oh, a trans woman shouldn't be allowed to be on the women's team, or a trans man shouldn't be allowed to be on the men's team. You know what I mean? Like, I can see that without that person being transphobic. That does not automatically make that person transphobic, because I can kind of see both sides of the argument with this. So just slapping someone with the label of transphobic, or you're a transphobe, if you think that, isn't really accurate statement for that one. That's just mine. Yes, I have heard of that. That's also a big a subsection, or a very small minority of that overlaps with furry stuff a little bit.
Reported it where it's a bit clipped favorably.
When you say reported, do you mean she clipped it and then reported it as a news person, or she reported it on Twitch?
This was clipped by someone else. She reported it with Destiny's channel and said this is transphobia, or this is hate speech.
And said you guys should help report.
It's not hate speech though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also again, tight-knit community, like I mentioned, there was definitely.
But again, you got again. I want you to say, it's like people like Keffals here. No, I'm not into that. I'm trying not to be political in here, because this is not a left or right issue. We are talking about Keffals here, Rob. So this is not a left or right issue. This is not a political issue. We're keeping politics out of this. This is not left or right. This is just I don't want to say common sense, but you got people who are so deep into it, and they like make extreme contradictions or extreme accusations that don't really make a whole lot of sense. And then on top of that, what was it? I was going to say something and I lost it. Oh yeah. So it's like, because Keffals is so well known, infamous, and she talks really loud online on Twitter, she's very well outspoken and everything. And then you got people who genuinely think all transgender people are just like her and believe the same thing, when it's not true. We're not a hive mind, you know?
Of her report.
Right.
But the reason this is important is that then Keffals immediately tweeted, "Hey Stephen, I just took away your primary source of income. Stop attacking me and trans people." So, you know, basically what Keffals did was, from the beginning, it was a clever narrative of, I took down a transphobe who wasn't attacking Leah Thompson, was attacking the trans community, and I just defended it.
He wasn't.
I think this is always important, because Keffals like to say, well, I never attacked someone. I was attacked first. I'd call that an attack first.
Yeah, the victim mentality.
Critical of her? Was he at least critical of her before that point?
I don't think he knew her.
Okay, really interesting. So
again, like, Keffals wasn't really that big.
Now, when you say big, you mean big on Twitter? Because to my understanding, even to this day, she doesn't have like a following on Twitch, really, right?
Oh no, she is. I mean, if we're doing comparatively, right? If we're doing a comparative with the top streamers, even now, I don't think she's as big. But I mean, we all read that statistic. What is it, like the top 1% of streamers are people that get more than like 5 views? Like, Keffals had like 100 viewers per stream. But nothing to scoff at. It's
nothing to scoff at, but considering how big her Twitter following is, it is kind of like, when you say it's relatively low, I mean, getting like 300 live.
Yeah, well, that's what I was getting onto. The reason it's so surprising is that one tweet of "Hey Stephen" did so well in the algorithm. I mean, people that never heard of Keffals before were liking, retweeting, following.
And it's not just that one tweet. She sort of astroturfed her own fame through Twitter.
Well, again, I'm saying this is the first contact, because after that it was the ratioing, it was the constant bravado.
And the whole ratioing thing is kind of dumb. No matter who does it, it's still kind of dumb.
Right. Okay. So you think that she fell into that, and then she sort of saw an opportunity to get big from that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't think Keffals is this master manipulator that people want to say. I think she's clever with her words, but she kind of fell into this position, and then immediately afterwards it was ratioing. I can't remember the full timeline, but I mean, Lauren Southern, right?
Of course, yes.
So the moment this Destiny thing happened and everyone's following and liking, I mean, there was even at the time, just from this one Destiny thing, there were these randoms on Twitter going like, Keffals is the the new icon of the trans community, which is daft because never has been, never will be.
So Keffals is
Exactly.
a
No,
trans
she
girl
doesn't
who-
speak for
she
me.
destroyed Steven, Destiny.
But just
Yeah,
because
yeah.
just
Primary
because
source
someone's
income, which is-
outspoken on Twitter doesn't mean they stand or represent the entire community. For any community, no matter what community it is, that's just bullshit. Because it's like they don't speak for me. It's just
I mean, I remember him talking about it. That's like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, like 300K.
like it's just
Yeah,
a very
and
loud vocal minority, and they give the rest of the community a bad name. Same with furries, same with weebs and bronies and everything else. Any group, any community, it's like you just got a few bad apples that give the rest of the community a really bad name.
Twitch
being
And then you
Twitch
got
didn't pay him
people
out
on
that
Twitter
month when he got
assuming
banned
that
or
the
anything.
entire,
Right, so
like
she-
everyone in the community is
she
like
directly
that.
caused a lot of opportunity loss, right, for him, and even indirectly she caused a lot of loss to him because, and even directly she caused loss to him because he lost his payout that month, which sucks.
Yeah. I mean, it was a from Keffals' perspective, everything just fell into place. It was a great
Decisive
move,
victory,
it looked
decisive
good.
win.
Yeah, and also it's just amazing how quickly it happened. I mean, this was like a day after the stream he got banned, I want to say.
Right. Okay. So that happened. Where do we go from here? Because Keffals is she's sort of like no one talks about her right now, at least online. But it seemed like for
She's trending right now on Twitter. I wouldn't say that.
Is this
well,
just
even
them
if she's
talking
trending,
together,
because
or
she's getting like 1,000
This is a while ago.
I wanted a
platforms. People who can't-
documentary, not.
Kind of turn on her, but Keffals.
Okay, hold on a second. God damn it. I wanted like an actual documentary, not them talking together. Hold on, fuck. I draw furries, but it's not really porn. It's just kind of like cute art, I guess. Cartoony art. I don't want anything too long, though. Is there a short one? That one's not too long. That's just part one. I guess we'll just do this.
Keffals is a Twitter user best known for her recent campaign against the website Kiwi Farms. Me being me, I decided to take a look into this as the campaign
No,
had
not
been
for
more
my art
vocal than
anyway.
those I've seen in the past. It turns out that Keffals herself has had a very tumultuous time on the internet, so let's cut this intro short and dig into everything, cause let's just say things are a lot more interesting past the surface level. Also, I don't normally have to say this, but don't harass anyone talked about in this video. I shouldn't have to say it, but given these circumstances, I feel it's necessary. Info on Keffals, aka Claire Sorrenti, and her childhood is relatively unknown, with her using the online name Keffals growing up playing Team Fortress 2 and Gary's mod on Steam. She figured out she was transgender when she was 12, started to transition her gender identity at 16 after a 42-year-old trans woman hooked her up with medical help, and in 2013 she and her family traveled to Thailand to get gender-affirming surgery when she was 18. Keffals has said that her late father helped pay for the surgeries and spent the rest of his life when she came out advocating for transgender rights up until his passing. Soon after she turned 18, Keffals would start an adult career under a false name, posting the expected content on a website both before and after her surgery.
Of course.
This would go relatively under the radar, however, as she had a much more promising career path she decided to pursue as she grew older. Keffals would become a member and organizer of the Communist Party of Canada in 2017 and would post about her communist ideals on her old Twitter account named after her. It's nothing inherently interesting, just a lot of talk about communism being good and showing that she was actually serious about politics and not some random Twitter account. Things weren't looking good for her in real world politics, however, as despite running in the
Yeah, I probably would, just to get a different perspective. It's always good to get different viewpoints on life and everything like that, so yeah.
2018 Ontario general election and 2019 Canadian federal election, she would finish dead last in both.
So she
would
ran as
continue
the
to
Communist
participate
Party?
in the Communist
Jesus.
Party until resigning in 2020 after an unknown controversy arose. Luckily for us, Keffals used to run a podcast called The Communist Current, and I managed to find a copy of the episode where she explains her reason for resigning. The episode is much more than just her stating the reason she left the party, and gives a lot of interesting insight on her political identity and the way she carries herself. The beginning starts off with her alluding to people making assumptions and believing lies about her without actually knowing her as a person before jumping into everything. She goes on to talk about her beginnings with communism starting from early childhood and a trip to Cuba, how she joined the Communist Party of Canada in 2017 after the election of Donald Trump and the Quebec City mosque shooting, and how during trips to both Seoul, South Korea and Beijing, China, she became more infatuated and content with her political identity. Back at home, she'd work with the party more, knocking on doors and trying to spread communism around her city as her father's health declined due to cancer, before passing away after being in critical care for 28 days. This led to her working as hard as she could, but as time went on, her beliefs weren't falling in line with the party anymore, and after sending in an amendment about settler colonialism and leading to a long debate, she decided to resign from the party altogether after not getting the outcome she wanted. Keffals goes on to explain that big leaders in the party disagreed with settler colonialism and didn't recognize its existence, which shocked her, along with issues having to do with not being able to talk about said beliefs during elections and how they tried to control her podcast. She goes on to criticize China for having a massive wealth disparity despite supposedly aligning with communist and socialist ideals, and how they donated billions of dollars to Israel, going against the party's existence and standards. She ends things off stating that she's still a communist, but will forge her own path from there on out after leaving the party behind. Some people call her a snake and opportunist who only had herself in mind and not for the movement after leaving, pointing out tweets how she called the Communist Party good with trans issues, only to elude the complete opposite 2 days later, along with accusing her of being an online clout chaser in general. There were also rumors of her stealing donation money from the Communist Party for her opiate addiction and that being the reason she left, but as far as I can tell, that seems to be nothing. Keffals herself will say the last time she struggled with her addiction was back when her father passed away, and she's been good ever since. I tried looking more into this but couldn't find anything concrete at all, and given this all seems just to be hearsay at the most, it seems this was just a rumor and nothing more. Soon after leaving the Communist Party of Canada, she would get back into her adult career, changing her Twitter account from Communist Party focused to adult content focused. She would tweet out about money struggles during this time and decided to go back into her adult career, making an OnlyFans along with it, where she would do dominatrix work on those willing to partake in said interests. Some of that includes a story involving a guy, $150 and some weed, and another involving a fart video that she made and posted to many. Jesus Christ. Said video has a review giving us an idea on what to expect, and so dejected with her adult career, she decided to try something new. Keffals had gotten into Twitch streaming during this time, and even had a new podcast called the Clara Gang Pod, where she would talk about things like being a transgender woman, not egotistical at all. Dominatrix work. She also seemed to wipe the original Claire Sorrenti Twitter account and reactivate it June 28, 2020 for Twitch career purposes, and said account is still up to this day as a backup for her main. During this internet soul searching, there was a Twitter account she made that drummed up a lot of controversy in mid-2021, and an account that is still talked about to this very day. Keffals used to run a Twitter account called Catboy Ranch, something that she's clarified herself in the past on multiple occasions. She also made a Discord server for the account, which had a couple hundred people at one point in time, and even had some suspect looking artwork as the server banner, also posting it on the Twitter page at one point as well. The account was mostly just Catboy shit posting, but there would be some really weird posts such as this one that gave people a weird vibe, and one sending a meme calling someone's ass fat, only for people to find out that they were 16 years old at the time. Yeah, it's a little Recently, creepy. Some drama will come out with people accusing Keffals and the Catboy Ranch Discord server of some heinous stuff, but it turns out the Catboy Ranch lore goes much deeper and in a different direction than people expected. On June 21st, 2021, Keffals would tweet out her opinion on lollipics, basically summing it down to the equivalent of CP. Some people on Twitter would get pissed about this for some reason, and so Keffals would start to mass block those defending it and telling them to get help. People would maul and troll Keffals for the next day or so due to her statement, but then something strange would happen that turned things on its head. During the early morning of June 23rd, 2021, a Twitter user by the name of Sorrel would make a post exposing another Discord server called Fanboy Hangout after finding out that a 13-year-old was talking sexually and the admins were doing nothing to stop it at all. An admin would be made aware of the 13-year-old and their suggested posts and not do anything about it and beat around the bush, basically summing it down to, if we ban them, nothing will actually stop happening, so why do it? and
What?
proof of the person being a minor would come out as they had an under 18 role, meaning all those talking to the minor and not telling them to stop or leave the server were some really messed up people. A video will be posted providing further proof, and it will come out that Catboy Ranch, the Twitter account ran by Keffals, was in the server. Keffals would say she had nothing to do with anything that was said in the server and left it after being made aware of what was going down. Where things get weird is that Sorrel got suspended soon after posting the thread, for the reason being an old chaos post he made, a type of shit posting related to the video game series Final Fantasy. It's also worth pointing out that recently on an alt account, Sorrel has gone on record to imply that Lolly isn't CP, which is against Keffals' belief that it is. Around the same time he got suspended on Twitter, Keffals made posts saying that a bunch of pedos were writing threads about her and dragging her name into some mess, and gleefully celebrated when one of them got suspended from the site. It's pretty obvious to tell that she was celebrating Sorrel getting suspended from the site, and the claims of her throwing pedo allegations onto someone comes down to opinion on lolly pics, which for some reason is really decisive on Twitter. Sorrel's thread would get reposted by someone named Dimitri after he got suspended, and some people were accusing Keffals of mass reporting his Twitter account. I tried to look for any hard proof of this and couldn't find any. All I could find were people dunking on her for saying lolly bad while in a Discord server where a 13-year-old was saying some suggestive stuff. While there's still the possibility she sent her mob to mass report Sorrel's thread, until there's hard evidence it can only come down to speculation at most. Keffals would make her final comments on the drama a couple hours later, making it about herself, saying that she believes people dug this up to try to get the own on her
Seems
after
like a
what she
lot of
said, and that if she
narcissistic
never said anything
tendencies
about
going
this, the
on
drama
here.
wouldn't
I'm
have happened to
seeing
begin
parallels
with.
with
She
DSP
would state
a
that
little
people
bit
are being bad-faced by lumping her into a group of people with guilt by association logic, and that she joined the Discord server when it was a Vosh Stan server to make fun of fans and seldom interacted in it, at one point replying to someone saying she only made a handful of shit posts before becoming inactive. There were also claims of people getting collars with Catboy Ranch on them, but as far as the collar stuff goes, the people seem to all be at least 18 years old when asking for one. I dug through all of Falling Man's posts on Twitter, and the one thing pointing that they're an adult will be right here where they say they don't want to waste money on a car. Catboy_F has had mid-20s in their bio since 2019, 2 years before making their collar post, and Femboy Politics was 18, as their Twitter bio says their birth was in 2002, and the collar post was in January 2021. Fanboy Finance posted their collar pic on Twitter on January 5th, 2021, and Keffals claims that they were over 18 when they got their collar and rebranded to Twink Bride, and uses this video as reference to show how old they look. While there wasn't any age explicitly attached, I decided to dig further and found out that Femboy Finance had an OnlyFans account that they started posting content on in December 2020, meaning that they were indeed over 18 years old by the time they got their collar. I also came across their Instagram with a more high-def picture of the collar along with them wearing it for those interested. So yeah, the Catboy Ranch allegations are all bullshit. The screenshots are from Femboy Hangout, a server that Keffals was definitely in, but as far as we can tell, seldom interacted in, and left when made aware of the screenshots and the subject matter.
I have no idea.
While there's
what
no
that
proof
was.
of Keffals being the reason Sorrel got suspended, it's certainly suspect given she's acknowledged the thread's existence and commented about the screenshots after being made aware of her name being involved, and they just happened to get suspended soon after. The people who all wanted collars were confirmed to be at least 18 years old save for one. The only two things that are weird as hell would be the Catboy Ranch Discord server having the suspect ass profile banner and that pregnant pic, and the post sent to Femboy Mass where Keffals sent a meme calling their ass fat. Femboy Mass would turn out to be 16 at the time it was sent, but it can easily be said that Keffals might not have known the age when sending the meme, so as far as that goes, just don't be reckless when posting stuff online. As mentioned before, Keffals started to stream on Twitch and made a podcast soon after leaving the Communist Party.
Everyone makes
none
a
of this was
podcast,
getting
don't
any
they?
major attention towards her name, as she was just like any other run-of-the-mill streamer in the endless void that is Twitch live streaming.
Yep.
She had the Keffals Twitter account since August 2018 and started to use that to promote her streams, along with running Catboy Ranch before that came crumbling down. She first streamed under her name, then under Clara Aloe Vera, then under Keffals with a Z, before finally settling on her online tag spelt the way it is today. Though it looks like Keffals deleted and reactivated her Twitter account as the join date changed to December 2020, it was just like any other account you see on the site. She would mainly shitpost and promote her Twitch streams for her followers, and nothing you haven't seen before. While researching this video, I came across a multitude of Twitter accounts related to her or referencing her name, but I can't tell which are fan accounts and which are actual alts of hers. Nonetheless, her Twitter addiction has been well documented already given the ones we talked about earlier, and in fact, she started to dabble into her favorite pastime on the site around August 2021. All of this would slowly but surely gain her a small fan base of around 17,000 followers by the time 2022 rolled about. Her account wasn't anything popular, but that would change in March 2022 after getting into beef with the streamer Destiny. Now, most people first saw her hatred for him start that very month, but it actually started a couple months prior before the year change. So let's see what issues she had with him before that faithful month rolled by. Things start between Destiny and somebody named Doe, a person who identifies as a transgender deer. They basically would talk shit to each other on Twitter on and off for a year and a half, but things would take a drastic turn as on October 13th, 2021, Doe would have a failed attempt on her own life, with Keffals taking notice herself sending her condolences. Keffals would start to hate Destiny after he said things making fun of her friend Doe's attempt on her life, and would tweet wishing for him to lose his Twitch affiliate status and thousands of dollars and such. However, another instance would make her hate Destiny even more, and this time something that hits a little closer to home than the last.
Fun of anyone's
On January 4th,
attempt.
2022,
Like,
Destiny
that's
would
fucked up.
catch wind of Chloe, aka Bob, posting after she made a statement saying she got 500 minors on HRT, with Destiny replying so.
Yeah,
Chloe
I don't really know. I don't know.
has gone on record saying she makes her own estrogen in a bathtub and takes it for herself, aptly calling it bathtub estrogen. On top of that,
Yeah, okay, so first of all, that's not safe whatsoever. Like, go to an actual doctor, an endocrinologist, to get your hormones. Do not homebrew your fucking hormones, because that's super unhealthy and risky. So I don't condone that at all. That's fucked up.
she has also stated on multiple occasions supplying minors with the same bathtub estrogen behind their parents' backs. At one point,
Yeah, that's not good either. Sorry, hold on, let me go back a second. I don't groom children. I just show dozens of kids every week how to buy with crypto and how to hide it from the parent. I have unironically. Yeah, that's not good. I don't condone that either. I'm sorry. It's like, I feel like in order to, when you start taking hormones, you should be 18. I feel you should be a mature adult. And you definitely shouldn't be buying homebrew fucking hormones that who knows what the fuck is in it. Because that's very dangerous. Like, why would you want minors to be risking their lives basically with who knows fucking what is in this shit? You know what I mean?
multiple occasions supplying
No, I
minors
would
with
not.
the same
I think
bathtub
that's a
estrogen
stupid
behind
thing.
their parents' backs. At one point, even hinting at doing it with another person who a month later ended up saying they were 14 years old. She's even gone on record giving tips on how to make it yourself and stating how she makes $400 a month from donations showing people how to buy DIY HRT, clarifying that it was just showing them how to buy it. Interestingly enough, these tweets have been deleted from her Twitter page, and as far as I can tell, she nuked all tweets prior to January 21st, 2022, so who knows what went on there. Keffals is close friends with Chloe, as she has tweeted out about an intimate experience between the two of them back in August 2021, and so would take offense to what Destiny said to her for doing what she believes is a noble cause, which is give minors access to hormones easier. Keffals herself has made posts on how she has helped get minors on HRT, going into detail on how she would do it through a youth group she helped run, and has gone on record stating she will transgender your children and won't let anybody stop her from doing it.
This is really
Since
cringe
Keffals and
and
Chloe
not
think they're doing
a
something noble, seeing Destiny call Chloe a pedo not only pissed her off on Chloe's behalf, but also on her own, as she believes Destiny is spreading a dangerous stereotype around using that language. Even recently, on June 26, 2022, Keffals will start to sponsor Chloe's website, the DIY HRT directory, with her name plastered at the bottom of the page, stating it's a DIY directory for people under the age of 18 to access hormones, showing she's going full force to support her cause. One of the sellers listed on the site specifically says that it's homebrewed medicine, which is unsettling given the circumstances. With that being said, Keffals would keep quiet as she didn't want to partake in any beef at the moment, and so would move on with their life. However, the straw that broke the camel's back would come just a handful of weeks later, and is what finally got some big eyes
really
watching their
is
Twitter
like this is some like really sketchy shit. First of all, no one should be trying any kind of homebrew do-it-yourself hormone thing. Even if you making it yourself or someone else is making it, it's extremely risky and dangerous. Not to mention the fact that, like, even through a doctor, they require you to have regular, when you transition, you start taking hormones, they require regular checkups to check your blood work to make sure everything is going right, because there are risks involved with taking hormones. I mean, there are like some medical risks that could happen. Blood clots are one of increased blood pressure, stuff like that, right? So it's like it's definitely not a good idea to be trying to sell this shit to kids. You know what I mean? Especially homemade shit where you're not under doctor supervision. And I get it. It sucks when you live in Texas or some other red conservative state where they ban that stuff, right? I get it. That sucks. But it's like, yeah, you either have to move or you have to wait till you get old enough. You know what I mean? It's like,
Leah Thomas is a transgender woman who would end up beating her competition in the NCAA Division I National Swimming Championship, and in doing so would cause backlash on the internet, with people saying there's a competitive advantage going on due to Leah being male to female. Twitter user Capri would reply to Destiny's claims about the matter on Twitter, saying no prior research suggests trans athletes have a competitive advantage in the sports they play after transitioning. Twitter user Ian Miles Chong would quote tweet saying it was a bunch of horseshit and provide a link why they're wrong, and Capri would private their account soon afterwards. Keffals would hop on the train after seeing another friend of hers going through something and tell Ian that his reply caused people to harass Capri, and pulled off her now infamous ratio because likes equal winning and power to her. She's even said it herself.
I used to think the ratios were really funny and silly, but now I realize that
they're kind of lame. It's kind of
there's
dumb.
power in it.
Oh my
Capri would make a post thanking Keffals for ratioing Ian, and Destiny would catch wind of this post and call it one of the cringiest things he's ever seen in his life. This would be the last straw, as Keffals was tired of seeing Destiny making fun of her friends and calling them names, and so she would quote tweet snitching on Destiny as he has been ban evading on his Twitter account. On March 23rd, Destiny would end up getting suspended on Twitch for hateful conduct with no reason given, and Keffals would immediately start to gloat about it, saying how she took away his primary source of income before saying she actually didn't do anything and was just celebrating his suspension in general. Keffals would again tweet trying to get Destiny banned off Twitter for ban evading, and then would turn her eyes to Lauren Southern after she called her out for going after Destiny's livelihood, in which Keffals would ratio her, and Lauren would say that won't make her a real woman before deleting the post, not wanting to get banned off Twitter herself. Lauren would go ahead and restream her first debate with Destiny on Twitch and get suspended herself, showing it was for restreaming Destiny as it's against Twitch TOS to show suspended creators on the site. Keffals would challenge this in her very own tweet. Lauren would show Keffals herself that was for the aforementioned reason and called her out for lying, and Keffals would once again ratio in revenge after being proven wrong. Keffals
like
would
this
go
whole
into
ratio thing is such bullshit too. It really is. Like, it doesn't mean shit. That, like, just because you ratio someone doesn't mean your point was correct or that you prove them wrong somehow. Like, it doesn't, being ratioed or not has no bearing whatsoever on who is right and who is wrong. Like, it's just the popularity thing. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, the whole bullshit about, like, ad blockers not working on YouTube
use
sucks.
Destiny of stealthing people, which is when you take the condom off during action without letting your partner know. A very serious crime with no evidence, mind you, before walking it back after realizing how big of a lie she just said.
Oh yeah, meanwhile he stealths people, which is legitimately a form of rape. Insane. Insane shit.
Yeah, it's almost like it doesn't happen. The more I watch, the more I'm not liking this chick. I can tell you that right now.
Isn't that
it's like very similar to DSP in a lot of ways, though, too. You got the narcissism. You got the fact that they just throw out wild accusations with literally no proof whatsoever. Terminally online
I don't know
type
if
of people.
if he did it. Wait, backing up, I don't actually know if he did it.
All of these Twitter shenanigans would attract the attention of Joshua Moon, the current owner of the website Kiwi Farms, and so he would talk about her on his podcast Mad at the Internet on March 25th, 2022. Keffals would be made aware of this and make a post stating that she would be staying put with the support of her community, and she'll be taking the necessary precautions to get past this. She would post a meme referencing how she got Destiny and Lauren banned literally within days of each other, but the very next day she would tweet saying that the people had been actively doxing her and she had to get her mother to shut down all her social media accounts before saying she won't let these people win. The people she's alluding to would be in reference to Kiwi Farms, as users had made a thread on her that morning compiling all the information they could find on her. The thread itself had gotten to over 100 pages within a few days, showing that they were really on her case, unlike most people they talk about. Around this time is when Keffals would start to ratio everyone and everything on Twitter because it makes her feel powerful. She would ratio again, and 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 again.
And again, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference anyway. But seriously, fuck libs of TikTok. That's a really hateful fucking Twitter account that spreads actual hate speech. Not the fake hate speech that this bitch goes around claiming. Actual hate speech. So fuck them.
And again, and again.
But no, the whole
month of
ratio
April
thing is
was
so
basically
stupid.
just her ratioing and talking shit on Twitter now that a bunch of people knew who she was. She even started saying stuff to Destiny's wife simply because she hates the both of them. People would talk about her, calling her an asshole and such, but other than playground insults, there wasn't really anything interesting going on yet. That is, until summer rolled about. On May 13th, Twitch streamer Stardust was invited onto Dylan Burns' Hippy Dippy Roundtable to talk about the usual political topics you come to expect. During the stream, she would find out that Keffals tuned in, and after seeing her on it, will make a post stating how she was invited but chose not to go on because she was friends with Flamenco, someone who Keffals absolutely hates as he's a known Kiwi Farms user, and she believes he was part of getting her doxxed despite no proof at all. Stardust would dip out of the stream not wanting to bring any more unnecessary negative attention, and would make a series of tweets on why, mainly dumbing it down to not wanting to cause any trouble for people not involved in her now beef with Keffals. Danabo, the booking manager for Dylan Burns, would go ahead and post his booking timeline, showing that he invited Keffals on May 11th, and after not getting a reply, he would invite Stardust on. Keffals would respond 2 days later, 11 minutes before the live stream was about to start,
Of course.
only to decline 5 minutes after the show started once she found out Stardust was involved, even though by that point she was already replaced by her after not responding. On May 18th, Stardust was watching a Keffals stream, and when she found out Keffals would add her name to a bot that bans anybody that follows her in her own stream, basically alienating some of her followers and making them choose either her or Stardust over what is essentially a petty beef over being friends with someone she hates.
So
Yeah,
basically,
this is
we're
really
adding to the
cringe. I will
bot
say that.
to make it so anyone who follows Stardust automatically gets banned from this stream. If you're following Stardust and you hit follow on this stream, you will be banned from this stream. So here's your message right now. If you're following Stardust, unfollow
This is some
Stardust.
like high school kid
because
level
in the
bullshit.
next 12 hours or so,
Like,
when this goes in operation.
Wah, she's friends with someone I don't like. Wah. Like, how fucking childish are you? Jesus
And-
Christ.
Oh no, I'm gonna get banned.
Stardust
Shit, that
followers
sucks.
will be permanently banned.
That is so funny.
Weeks would go by, and Keffals would get into some weird
Oh,
beef
fucking
with the
quartering,
quartering in
shut
June
up.
where they basically just shit-talked each other, with the quartering misgendering her to piss her off, and Keffals going after
And like,
his
isn't the
sponsor-
quartering like right now like trying to like back up and say it's okay because that one white chick said the N-word like on a stream recently? Like, I think I saw that on Twitter somewhere where it's like he was like, oh, it's okay for white people to say the N-word and blah blah blah. I'm like, what?
and making fake DMs to goad him into joining the stream to debate her. It was extremely childish from both ends overall, but things would come to a boiling point when Keffals would finally sit down and have a conversation with Stardust on July 10th. Their conversation would start off positively, with Keffals apologizing for being so abrasive and being a general asshole towards Stardust.
Yeah, it sounds
I
like
wanna
she's a
start
huge
off by
asshole.
apologizing for how abrasive that I've been towards you, like especially with the Dylan Burns thing.
That's fine. I mean, I know you're new to the scene and it can be overwhelming and stuff like that.
They would converse a bit like any normal people would, and go on to clarify some other situations they had. To sum it up, things were heading in the right direction. That is, until Flamenco was brought up. Keffals believes that Flamenco was part of the doxing because he's part of the Kiwi Farms community, even if he didn't outright search for the information himself, whereas Stardust doesn't believe so and considers him a friend. They would start to discuss their opinions on the matter, and after getting frustrated that Stardust was standing by her own, Keffals would lose her cool.
Yeah, so again, I can't speak on behalf of him. I would just say that if you want to talk to him about that would be something that he can talk to you about. But I can't really comment on that. I do know that, I mean, I feel like it's kind of hypocritical to be blaming him for being part of a forum, right?
Oh,
that
shut the
is-
fuck up, you stupid bitch. Really? Blaming him for being part of a thread that is engaged in so much harassment that my fucking mother's address was leaked and they went after my family. How fucking discourse brained are you that this is actually something that you would say? Holy.
After
And now
seeing
talk
Flamenco
about
in
playing
chat,
the victim like always.
Keffals would tell Stardust to tell Flamenco she doesn't approve of him being on Kiwi Farms, but since Stardust doesn't have an issue with that and only cares if he posted her docs around, Keffals gets frustrated and berates Stardust after seeing she doesn't follow the same guilt by association mindset.
But I need screenshots of him actually posting
All
docs.
right. I'll get all of those fucking. He didn't post the fucking docs. He engaged in group harassment.
If he encouraged
he
like
encouraged other people by
How do you
engaging in
know?
group. Do you know a group?
You're just throwing random accusations at him, bitch. Like, you don't know shit. Just because someone registered for a forum like years ago or whatever, does that mean that he's like endorsing the shit that happens all the time in there? No.
Group harassment is? You have more than 2 fucking brain cells? Jesus, Stardust.
Apparently you don't.
Their conversation would swiftly end soon after, with both parties talking over each other until Keffals leaves after her failed attempt to bully Stardust into following her mindset.
Keffals,
Jesus Christ.
you have slandered me as a white nationalist, as a white supremacist, as a neo-Nazi.
I literally
you've
do not
done that
give a
to
single
such
shit
you've done
because
that
you
to
are
groups.
you've
done that to
part
groups of
this
people.
to begin with.
I am such a smaller content creator than you, and you
I
think
don't
that it's
care.
okay
You know what?
for
This
you
isn't-
to
you know, this isn't
slander
doing
me as
anything.
a white
I really
nationalist, as
fucking
a
hope the
brown
worst.
woman, by the way.
I recommend you watch the video on your own time, but from what we can gather here, it's very obvious this comes down to a difference in mindset. Keffals believes that since Flamenco posted on her Kiwi Farms thread that he's part of the problem, whereas Stardust doesn't believe so because he never actively spread her docs around. Their mindsets didn't mix together, but instead of discussing it in a formal way, Keffals just resorted to bullying and name-calling to belittle Stardust in front of her viewers. On July 18th, Keffals will launch up a stream against Destiny, saying how it would expose
What? What? I don't understand what you're saying there. We're a little less than halfway through though. And then after that, I got a few videos up here. Some of the recent ones about this whole steak meme thing and everything like that.
him to the world as a Kiwi Farms user that promotes the website. The part that covers Destiny shows that he only posted on his own Kiwi Farms thread, and someone complaining on his thread that he used a screenshot from the Keffals thread in a Twitter post and wanted credit, showing that he's looked in her thread before. Something to note is that Keffals showed interest when someone said he was known as Winter on the site before it turned out to be false.
He is indeed Winter? You're fucking with me. No, you're absolute... No.
That name Winter will be important later on, trust me. The rest
Yeah, because it seems like she just takes, like, if someone says something, she'll just take it 100% at face value with no actual, like, evidence to back anything up. Like, I fucking have an account on Kiwi Farms. I'm not really on there that often, but I still have an account. That doesn't mean I was fucking posting and doxing people.
of the stream is her trying to manipulate people.
Yeah, all the other videos besides this one are DSP related. But I just wanted to go over this because it's like a new lolcow and everything like that. Well, not new, but I haven't gone over a different lolcow yet, so this is just me trying to learn about this.
Say that Destiny and his audience
And
are in
reacting
cahoots
to
with
it.
Kiwi Farms, and that he's a multitude of negative things. But there isn't any proof to this at all, and mainly comes off as Keffals reaching as far as she can to villainize Destiny to her audience. Her
Seems
Twitch
like it.
account would also get suspended for a moment with no reason given, but the assumption was it was because she had slurs in her thumbnail, and Twitch is extremely strict about that kind of stuff. On July 20th, Hunter Avalon would be streaming and talking about the Keffals situation when he went on her Kiwi Farms thread and scrolled through it for his chat trying to find Flamenco and if he had any involvement with the docs at all. This was a clear mistake on his part showing the thread to his viewers, and Keffals would be made aware of this, making a post about what he had just done. He would make his own post saying it was a complete error and a mistake on his part, taking accountability for what he had done, and saying he would delete the stream VOD as soon as he could. Hunter would also wind up getting to apologize to Keffals face to face as well.
Why
But
would
let's
you
just say
apologize
things
to her?
went in a direction we're already familiar with.
Yeah,
the
seems like
conversation starts
Keffals
off
is just
fine,
like
with Hunter
an online
apologizing to
bully.
her for showing her docs on stream and saying that he was 100% in the wrong for that. Keffals mentions Flamenco once more and why Hunter was even talking about him, and Hunter replies saying that it was because he was looking for his involvement in the docs, but then Keffals made a familiar statement on how it doesn't matter if he was involved with the docs or not, but since he was active in the thread, he is at fault.
I think 100% of the people in the thread are complicit because it's a mob mentality. It's a group behavior. And
No, it's not. It's not a hive mind mentality, you dumbass.
everyone who's in the thread who isn't
Oh my
actively
God,
against
she
that
is such an
behavior
idiot.
is encouraging that behavior.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I mean,
When
I'm not here to defend
Flamenco or Kiwi Farms. Like I said, the only
Right.
reason I was even on Kiwi Farms to begin with is because I saw your debate with Stardust, and I was thinking, oh, well, I want to see how much involvement it seemed that Flamenco had with the actual docs.
More conversing goes on, and Hunter would explain his reason for showing the website was to show how convoluted everything was for his viewers.
The reason I even showed it there was simply to just show the stream how convoluted and chaotic the massive amounts of threads even were.
Keffals will start to say it doesn't matter if his intent was good or not, but since he used the site to make money off that, he was still in the wrong, which Hunter finds ironic given she did the same thing when dunking on Destiny on
Yeah,
her
she
stream
does that
2
all
days
the time,
prior.
and it's fine
You
for
ended
her.
up doing the exact same thing that Flamenco did, and the exact same thing
Exactly.
that Destiny
She
did,
is
where it's like,
just as much a lolcow as anyone else here that I'm seeing. She, like, all these lolcows seem to have, like, a lot of the same mentality, the same kind of thing in common, you know?
okay, you might not be actively engaging on the forum. You might not have been actively
'Cause
posting docs.
this is kind of
But
reminiscent to
by
DSP.
talking about
and
it and by
his
monetizing
fans.
the content on that site, you are literally making money.
That's what
off
you're
of
doing,
the
bitch.
targeted harassment that I receive online.
Well, I'm sorry, wait, by talking about it?
Yeah, by talking about it, by using the content from that website,
But
you're
haven't- I mean,
monetizing it.
Didn't you've posted the link, or at least the logs where Destiny posted the link to it, and I know you've talked about the Kiwi Farms thing on your stream, right? Like, I wasn't
Yes.
getting content off of it.
Oh, so
I
it's
was
okay for
explaining
her
the
to do.
situation, really. Somebody was on at the time, too, giving me your perspective on things as well. So, or at least they were trying to, but...
Their conversation would quickly derail, as Keffals was now focusing on the ideal that monetizing the website and its contents is bad, despite doing the same thing only 2 days ago, and starts to get frustrated, saying how even though he apologized, he still showed her docs to everyone, basically not accepting the apology and getting caught up in her feelings.
That's the only point that I was trying to make.
I mean, I guess you more than some other people, you actually published my docs in a YouTube video.
Okay.
You know, after you
I mean,
spent
yeah,
like
I
the entire
recognize that there was a
stream
mistake. I don't know what you want me to say at this
me.
point.
after you spent like the entire stream shit talking me to the audience.
They
And
start
then you
to
got
argue a
them-
bit, with Hunter saying he feels Keffals is trying to look for a reason to villainize him in her head and start a fight, and then the sight of a familiar friend causes everything to go haywire.
The reason that I feel that you're trying to start a fight is because you keep...
Why is Flamenco TV in your chat right now, by the way?
I don't know. I
don't know?
No, I don't know. People can comment in my chat if they would like to. That's not my
my
problem
God.
right now. The
Does
thing
he
is that
comment
you're
there
trying to
frequently?
walk away from
Does
the
he
actual...
comment there frequently?
No,
No, okay.
no.
But you're not going to do any job moderating your chat. Like the people
See,
who...
why are... Wait. Keffals,
Yes?
please.
Yes,
Stop.
what?
Stop doing this
Stop
right now.
what?
You're
Stop doing
trying
what?
to do... No.
Stop
you're playing
being a
this guilt
bitch.
by association game.
Guilt by
at this
association,
point,
you
I've...
fucking doxed me using my Kiwi Farm thread.
So
How are
I
you
get that you're
this-
going to keep on
how
going
are you
back to this.
much of a
and
manipulated piece of shit? Like seriously?
the fact that...
You don't know what you're talking about.
Because I don't need to take responsibility for criticizing your dumb tweet
You don't-
beforehand.
you
I don't need to take
doxed
responsibility
me.
for that.
You fucking doxed me, dude.
I take responsibility for
And
that.
he apologized. Now you can either accept his apology or not. And obviously she's not accepting it, so then leave. Like there's nothing else to talk about. Like you just like she's so stupid.
But
And
you
how
are
are you
trying
gonna
to
take
then criticize me
responsibility
for
for that?
other issues as well.
Exactly. Because if you want to take responsibility for it, why are you not listening about the bigger picture surrounding how you fucked up?
Wait, the fuck up was the mistakenly showing the screen which had the docs on it. The fuck up was not me criticizing you prior.
No,
Fine,
no.
but I mean, at the end of the day,
Okay.
it's not really...
You're gonna keep like
it-
doing this like ooh woo shit at me.
I'm not
Like,
doing any
okay,
ooh woo shit. I'm trying to stay
okay,
calm, and I'm
okay,
trying to have
I'm
a
not-
human face-to-face conversation with you.
Why is this person upset that I doxed them? Are they okay?
Are you?
Shut up.
You're acting
You're a
like
fucking
unhinged
liar.
right now.
She is
I'm
unhinged.
acting
She
unhinged
is
right now.
nuts.
You
Yes,
doxed
I
me
came
on
on-
your stream. You fucking cuck.
Okay, so
Jesus
can I ask you a
Christ.
question, please?
Are you such a fucking
If I have
idiot?
already acknowledged the mistake I made as far as the doxing thing, why are you trying to tie in the prior criticism that I levied against your tweet to somehow fault me for that as well? Do you want to talk? Oh, she left. She left.
Because she's a fucking idiot.
Oh my god.
I recommend you check out that video on your own time as well, because it's pretty clear she was looking for anything she could to stay mad at Hunter.
She's
He
like
apologized.
she's a professional victim Like, you know what I mean? It's like just like DSP. These narcissistic traits are synonymous with lolcows, right? So she's a professional victim, and she looks at any small opportunity and chance to turn them into a quote-unquote bad guy so that then she can get raking the pity bucks. You know what I mean? That's like 100% what she's doing. DSP does the same fucking thing. He'll turn everything around when they are the ones at fault 99.9% of the time.
It's for showing the docs, but Keffals decided to focus on a negative tweet.
And again, people see this stupid bitch, I'm sorry, but she is, and they're going to think that, oh, all trans people are like this. All trans people are unhinged and mentally ill and everything. I'm like, no, just this crazy ass bitch.
Made about her that had nothing to do with the docs to victimize herself further, and when he wasn't having any of that, she went off the handle because he wasn't falling into her hands. There was no reason to stay mad at Hunter, but she wanted to control him and make him apologize for every bad thing he said about her so she can look better publicly on Twitter, but when he wasn't having any of that, she threw a tantrum and left the call instead.
Yeah.
Things get a bit more
Very
interesting
immature.
though, as sometime after their argument, Keffals would DM Hunter's wife after realizing the argument made her look bad to public eyes. The first set of messages is Keffals saying that it was outside forces trying to get them to fight, and that she wants to apologize to him privately after speaking ill on his name publicly. The next would be her saying why she can't apologize publicly, that being because she doesn't want to talk about Kiwi Farms publicly and wanting to basically take everything down and move on, saying that it was the Kiwi Farms users in his chat that caused her to lose her cool and start the fight, not her.
Now she's
Hunter
making
was sum things up
excuses.
pretty well after reading these first chat to see.
This to me reads a little bit disingenuous. This to me sounds like somebody who recognized that they didn't look too good in the conflict and wanted me to take everything down, and they would take everything down about me so long as we were able to talk privately.
Yep.
I don't know why that needs to happen. Not to mention, there should be a record of what happened and how our conversation went, because what's stopping Keffals from running off after our private conversation and claiming that I said the T slur, or claiming that I did nothing but scream at her the whole time? If there's no evidence to contradict that, then it can just be used and weaponized against me further.
Given Keffals is a known manipulator, I can't say he doesn't have a point in wanting everything to be public between them. Keffals would end up making a members only video about Hunter, and so he would go through it and see what she says about him in a video of his own on August 4th. She mischaracterizes him, saying he didn't understand the ramifications of accidentally showing the docs, and so Hunter aptly replies,
Hunter seemingly did not understand the kind of ramifications of doing that, especially after you start the stream by attacking my character and priming the worst people in your audience to use that information to harm me and the people I care
no
about.
one did that.
So, first and foremost, of course I recognize the potential ramifications of accidentally showing someone's docs. Of course. If I didn't, I would not have apologized. Of course it has potential ramifications, and that is what I was so sorry for. Obviously. And I understand her point here. Her point is clearly because I was crap talking her ahead of time, and then I accidentally showed that. I was priming people to essentially go after her. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't like this idea that because I criticized her and then I made the mistake of showing the docs, that somehow means I now need to apologize for the criticism prior.
A lot of the video is her saying how because he talked bad about her prior to the accidental docs, he was priming his audience to attack her, which is untrue and simply Keffals getting caught up in her feelings after seeing Hunter say mean things about her.
Yeah.
At one point, Keffals even says that Hunter blurred out his chat not because of the people that rated it and said vile things about her, but because he wanted to get the video monetized on YouTube.
If you look at the video on his YouTube
And
channel,
these are like the same people who like monetize everything. These are the people who monetize fucking everything. And then they turn around and be like, oh, you can't monetize me. Even though I'm monetizing you by making 5 or 6 extra drama videos about you, bitch. Like, because she will make like we were seeing that she made, what, like 2 or 3 other videos just talking shit about Hunter or whoever this person is. And those are, bet your damn ass, those are monetized. So it's fine for her to do it, but not for anyone else to do it. That's basically the whole thing.
he blurred out the chat for the entirety of the video, because if he did,
It's what's good for Ree, not me, but Ree. It's like, how is that good? It's like what's good for the goose is good for the gander, or it's like follow by what I say, not by what I do. Like shit like
it probably
that,
would have got demonetized and it would have made him look terrible.
What? I blurred out the chat because there were a bunch of losers raiding my chat who are not actually part of my audience, who were spamming transphobic BS. I literally blurred it as a way to further show respect. What? I was apologizing for the accidental showing of your dead name. If people are in my chat spamming your dead name, then I'm gonna blur it out. The mods were working overtime to ban as many people as possible during that. What's even the point of bringing this?
Yeah, honestly, it sounds like Hunter did nothing wrong. I mean, like, I know we say that, like, oh, I did nothing wrong. I did, like, everything correct, nothing wrong. But no, like, she's just a total bitch. And he did everything he could to, like, correct his mistake. And she just wasn't having it. And, like, that's fine. You don't have to accept that. But then she piles on top of it by, like, trying to make him look like some cartoony fucking villain or whatever.
Up other than to try and
no,
make
I know
your
you can't please
audience
everyone.
feel like
I know.
my audience is full of vicious transphobes.
I don't have to go any further than
She's
this.
trying to,
It's
like,
obvious Keffals is
paint the narrative or
mischaracterizing
change
things
the
in order to
narrative,
make herself
you know?
look better or make her opponent look worse, and not actually fix an issue unless it involves the other party submitting at her demands for them.
Exactly.
I recommend watching this video as well given the chance, because again, it gives a lot of insight on how Keffals is as a person. All of this was just part of the many controversies Keffals had gotten herself into throughout the summer. The number of people against Keffals would grow as she kept mischaracterizing things for what seemed to be no reason other than malice, and so bad
and then
actors
this bitch will be like, oh, if anyone, like, because again, these people, they use like things like, all right, how am I gonna say this? Okay, like, so this bitch, like, she will use her being trans as a weapon, right? So she's going to weaponize her being trans and say that any and all criticism she receives is not due to her being a shitty person, but it's due to her being trans. So therefore, they all must be transphobic because they're daring to criticize her. It's basically what it is. So it's like, am I transphobic because I'm criticizing her and the fact that she isn't a very good person? No, I am not. Of course not. That's ridiculous, right? But she's definitely one of those people who will definitely, like, use it for playing the victim card and to try to weaponize her being trans. And then, obviously, as if trans people didn't have enough of an issue already, like, she's giving the whole community a bad name because of this.
Behind the scenes will start to ramp things up once more. At first, it was the Keffals docs back in March from that unnamed website, but the next situation would be something heading into much more serious territory than before. On August 9th,
and of course, should Kiwi Farms be making threads on people who haven't done much wrong at all, besides the fact that they might be transgender or furry or a brony or whatever? No, they shouldn't. Of course not. And they definitely shouldn't be doxing people or harassing people either. But at the same time, I'm like, it is like that's the problem is you got the whole freedom of speech shit to worry about too, you know what I mean? And it's like, what is pushing freedom of speech and what isn't? Obviously, doxing or swatting is crossing the line, obviously. But it's a tough. I don't know.
Keffals would post a video to YouTube unlike anything she's made thus far. She had been swatted on the 7th by people using her docs, pretending to be her and sending emails to every London, Ontario City Council member threatening to shoot people after killing her own mother, notably claiming how she woke up to the police force with a rifle in her face.
On August 5th, I was woken up by
like,
London
obviously
police
that's way too
services
far.
pointing an assault rifle in my face at my home.
She would also claim that the police referred to her by
for you or anyone who ever watched This Is How You Don't Play, you almost got me killed. Sure, Phil.
By her dead name and referred to her as her son when speaking to her mother.
During the arrest, the police officer referred to me by my dead name. I was booked in the station under my dead name. The police, when talking to my mother, referred to me as her son.
She talks about her arrest and how the police seized all their electronics and how because of this they were now unemployed and she had to spend thousands of dollars to replace the items.
Because of the negligence of the police, we were both left functionally unemployed, and I have spent thousands of dollars replacing our computers and cell phones so our lives aren't completely destroyed by what happened to us.
She would place a
I
lot of
wouldn't say
blame on the
that's
police for their
completely
actions,
destroyed.
saying things like how since they have their fiance's computer, they can't work on their PhD studies, and how they are traumatized with how they were treated, and announces she'd be opening up a GoFundMe to move, recoup losses, and build a legal fund.
I started a GoFundMe.
Oh, here we go with the GoFundMe shit. This is a big thing that happens where it's like misappropriation of funds and GoFundMe and fundraising for shit that doesn't need to be fundraised. Shit like that. And then playing the victim to try to get more money.
To move immediately, recoup my losses, and build a legal
Yeah,
fund to
sure she
protect
does.
my rights.
She would talk about any journalists wanting to speak to her, and ends
Now,
things
I
off.
find it, one thing is fucked up, I will give to her, is that, like, okay, if the police confiscated all your computers and shit like that, and after they search through it to make sure she's innocent, they should give her that shit back, right? Like, that is kind of fucked up that they didn't give her computers and shit like that back. I will give her that. That's fucked up. But, like, I mean, I get why they might seize it initially, but after you go through to make sure that she didn't actually make those emails or whatever, give her the shit back, right? Like, you shouldn't be stealing that stuff unless she's lying about that too, because it's possible she's lying that they didn't give her their shit back. So
again, reiterating that she thought she was gonna die after seeing the gun pointed at her.
When I was woken up by police officers,
and
who saw the
obviously
assault-
swatting people is wrong. I don't condone it. That is fucked up. Don't do that. Like, no matter how much I hate a person, I'm not gonna swat them. That's fucked up, you know?
assault rifle pointed at me. I thought I was going to die.
The goal of the GoFundMe was 20,000 Canadian, and at the bottom of the page it specifies that if met, she recouped her losses and could move, and anything after that would be put towards a legal fund. Along with this would be a press kit of the
Fake
evidence
legal
bags having her old last name on it to show that the London police had used it, and a copy of the police warrant to search her home.
Like, okay, with the whole dead name thing, I guess I get it. That can be annoying, especially if you legally change your name. Like, I legally changed my name. My name currently is not, my legal name currently is not the same as my birth name, right? I was born under a different name than I'm currently using now because I prefer my current new name as opposed to my old name. And yeah, it would kind of suck if police use my old dead name when that is not a legally applicable name anymore. Because when you change your name legally, it's like everything from that point on is referring to you by your new legal name. So the question here is, was Keffals' name legally changed, or was it just like a nickname or her preferred name, but it was never changed legally? Because, like, legally, it's like, I'm not my birth name. So if I get a speeding ticket with my birth name, that's not technically me. So would I still have to pay that if that's not me anymore? Because that's not technically my name anymore. That's not a legally applicable name. So the question that comes down to is then, did she legally change her name prior to this happening or not? And the key word there is being legally, because if you don't do it through the whole court system, it's a whole process. You got all this paperwork, you got to sign it, it goes through the court system, it takes a few months, and then eventually you get your new ID with your new name on it. You get your birth certificate updated for your new name and everything like that. It's a whole process to change your name. So the question again is that, like, was she just going around with her preferred name and she never bothered to legally update it? Because if that's the case, then of course they're going to use your dead name and not your preferred name, because it's still, your legal name is still under your dead name, not your current name. But if she legally changed it, then yeah, it probably should be for her current legal name. So, like, that's a big factor in that. And but it's not that big a deal either way, to be honest. It's not a massive deal, but, like, technically, through technicality, if she had legally changed the name, and then, like, then wouldn't it be, like, illegal to charge her with that if you're using the wrong? I mean, obviously they're not going to charge her with anything because she didn't do anything wrong. I'm just saying, in case she was actually being arrested for something, because they booked her initially or whatever, and then
they let her go when they figured out it was a swatting. But at the time, they didn't know it was a swatting. So when they arrested her, it wouldn't have been applicable to you if they weren't using her legal name. I don't think. But I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not sure entirely how much that works. Because then you get into the whole pseudonyms and other aliases and stuff like that.
Sources would talk about this incident, and it would soon spread around Twitter like wildfire as people were supporting her after this swatting attack. In an interview with the local news station, Keffals would exclaim that she went into the hallway and saw the assault rifle, already contradicting herself as she said she woke up to it in her face.
When I went into the hallway.
And then she's going to play this up. She's going to 100% play this up. And obviously it probably could be really traumatic to, like, have SWAT at the door and everything like that. But, like, at the same time, it's like you obviously are going to, like, milk this for all it's worth. Because that's what she's going to do, obviously. Lolcows will always do this. They always play it up for us. Well, look at how Phil did it. And I'm pretty sure for Phil, it was a wellness check. It wasn't even an actual swatting. It was just a wellness check. Cops come to my door with guns. I'm like, well, go ahead and shoot me. Like, fuck, I don't care. Want to die anyway.
And then
Do it,
saw
bitch.
that assault rifle. On August 5th, I was woken up by London Police Services pointing an assault rifle
There's
in my
the London
face
Police Services
at my
by
home.
the thing, and they're
Keffals
pointing
get all
it
her
at my head.
electronics back 3 days after the swatting on August.
See? You see what I'm saying? So she was raising money for nothing. Because she jumped the gate, she jumped the fence. No, wait, what's the right word? She jumped the gun and assumed that the police were not going to give her shit back. And then 3 days later, you couldn't wait 3 days. Oh, but we're unemployed now. Yeah, you're unemployed for 3 fucking days. Calm down, bitch. Plus, I'm sure she probably still had a phone. Like, really?
August 10th, with people even recording her at one point while moving the stuff back to her place. While this is going on, she's raising the goal of her GoFundMe, going from 20k to 40k to 80k.
Oh my God.
And so on that same day, she would stream about why she kept raising the—
See, you see what I'm saying? Like, she is literally a con artist and a fraud. Like, that's the whole thing. And this is not the only instance. This happens more than once, because I heard about a different one that happened more recently. So this is not the only instance of this. She's 100% a fraud and living off of sympathy dollars, basically.
the goal of it, and she would say that.
People kept asking me why I'm raising the goal when it hits the goal. And the reason why is because,
why, bitch?
Yes, I'm using these funds to move. But more importantly, once I'm safe, the rest of those funds are going to be used for legal expenses.
Oh yeah, because I'm gonna sue everyone? Like, oh my god, you won't even believe how many people I am going to sue. No, instead of WWE, it's cocaine, basically. Yeah, she became a drug addict or something, I think.
Because I'm not
She got
just
caught with drugs.
moving. I'm
I'm
also
gonna
taking
sue
legal
everyone.
action.
Like, holy shit,
I already
the
have
police
one
are gonna
lawyer,
be sued.
and I'm consulting with 2 more.
And Kiwi Farms is gonna be sued.
I'm
and
going to
gonna
get
sue
justice for what happened to
Justice
me.
for me.
And for every other marginalized person.
Oh,
in
you
this-
don't represent me, bitch. You don't represent the community. Stop pretending you do.
Who has been victimized.
Stop that. Oh,
So,
he's been
Keffals
victimized.
says
Like,
she planned
oh my
on
God.
using the money for legal action, and that's part of why she kept raising the goal.
Which is bullshit.
On August 11th, London, Ontario Police Chief Steve Williams will put out a statement saying no dynamic entry happened and that the officers were let in after knocking on the door and presenting themselves. He would also say that at no time under custody was Keffals referred to by her dead name, and the usage of her old last name stems from a previous encounter, as whenever someone comes into police contact, they use that current info and keep using it as they didn't know about her name change until they arrested her recently. This
There
all
you
makes
go.
sense, and suddenly people—
So there you go. She was lying about literally everything. She was lying about them keeping her equipment and computers. She was lying about being unemployed because it was only 3 days. And then on top of that, she was lying, kind of, about the whole dead name thing because they hadn't updated it in the system. Yeah, that's the thing with lolcows. They always fucking are so sue happy. They want to sue fucking everyone. I'm like, bitch, you ain't gonna sue anyone. You're probably gonna use that money for WWE champions. Or in this case, a lot of cocaine and drugs.
People were questioning Keffals for the inconsistency in the police response, and why she mischaracterized them dead naming her as pure malice rather than the way the records are handled. Keffals would post saying that her legal team advises her not to talk about her legal plans going forward, that she plans on seeking justice at one point or another, saying how she can't disclose anything yet as this is real life shit and not some online streamer drama. She would say she appreciates—
You're still making drama out of it by talking about it in the first place though, lady. Like, oh, this is like not online drama. This is like real life stuff. But let me tell you all about it. And I'm going to monetize a shitload of videos talking about it.
It's all the support she's got.
Keep playing the victim as much as possible. Get as much sympathy dollars as possible.
And that she finally raised enough money on the GoFundMe to move, and that anything additional would go towards her legal fund. You know, that original 80,000+ that is currently a little over 1,000 because she kept raising the goal on the site.
Yeah.
Keffals would wipe her Discord most likely because the police are now watching her, and on August 13th would update people saying she is now in a hotel room, along with posting a picture of her cat. And on August 13th,
August, September, when I can, okay.
Would update people saying she is now in a hotel room, along with posting a picture of her cats on the hotel bed. It took Kiwi Farms users only a few hours to find a hotel after cross-referencing the bed sheets, and so on August 18th, she would move to another hotel after taunting people that they wouldn't find her now. Also on that day, she would make—
something else I have learned quite a lot is that you don't taunt Kiwi Farms. Like, you don't taunt them. They are very, very good at finding out information. Do not taunt them. Don't bring it up at all. Don't give them any information, right? Like, don't give them any new information. Don't taunt them. Just try to go about your life, right?
a brand
I
new
don't know
YouTube video
if the cat's still alive. I mean, I'm sure it probably is fine.
that she was doxxed by Kiwi Farms users and start to explain how bad
How long, like what year was this in? 2023, 2022?
the site is, going over 3 stories of people's suicides that are attributed to the website. She goes on to explain how she'd be using a green screen and other measures so that Kiwi Farm users can't harass her anymore, and basically talks about how she'll be listening to her legal counsel and that people need to fight back against Kiwi Farms for all that they have done.
Kiwi Farms is operated with impunity because they are relatively unknown outside of the internet. We need as many people as possible to know who they are if we plan to fight back against them.
3 days later on August 21st, the unnamed website mentioned earlier would hack into her Uber account and order at least $131 worth of food to her new location, with a receipt of the order along to boot. Keffals will post a picture of the food on her new hotel bed sheets, and like clockwork, this new hotel will be doxxed in a few hours, with her pinning the blame solely on Kiwi Farms. The unnamed website would take credit for the Uber hack and post a massive dox of Keffals and her family, and after this, Keffals would blame Kiwi Farms more and more and move overseas to flee from the internet harassment she's been getting. She would move to an unknown location and start up a live stream, and the unnamed
if you're being targeted by Kiwi Farms to this extent, and then on top of that, she is like actively like antagonizing them. She's like taunting them and antagonizing them still. You know what's the best way to get them to stop? Is to stop posting shit online. Now, I know she can't do that because you gotta make my stuff online. But like, change your name. Like, online, I mean. Like, make a new account on different websites under different names. And just keep pushing like that. And stop using the Keffals moniker online. You know what I mean?
Website to figure out exactly where she was on August 26th thanks to a doorknob, the fact she said she was in Ireland, and because she was living with someone who was previously doxxed months prior, taking credit for doxing her again and announcing she was in Northern Ireland. During all this, Keffals would push her followers to post the hashtag #DropKiwiFarms towards Cloudflare, the website
I do remember this,
protection,
yeah.
constantly showing anything she could possibly use to get the website dehosted.
Yeah,
the
she
site
does,
would go
though.
offline for a 3-day period between August 26th to the 29th, showing that this campaign was putting a significant amount of pressure far beyond what people
Yeah, I do remember this because, like, oh, and then she was bragging that it got shut down for like 2 seconds.
initially believed, with her constantly posting about the site along with followers of hers. On August 27th, Keffals would ramp things up further by telling her Ukrainian followers to go after the physical location where the Kiwi Farm servers are located, also slyly adding the notion that the site hosts pro-Russian propaganda in order to sweeten the message. You know, the countries currently at war between each other. Around this time, an archive post of her wishing someone to get swatted went around, bringing a weird sense of hypocrisy and irony.
Yeah, that's a big hypocrisy. I mean, obviously this happened beforehand, before she got swatted, but still.
to the whole crusade going on. On August 28th, she would drag Joshua Moon's mother into the mess despite her having nothing to do with the drama and it being purely out of malice and spite. That same day, she would make a post saying that it was fair game because his site had led to harassment on her end, and that anybody with an active Kiwi Farms...
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. They fucked with me, so I'm gonna fuck with your whole family. Like, this is not, like, good behavior. You shouldn't fight fire with fire and shit like that, you know? You should try to be better than your enemies, you know what I mean?
Crosshairs, saying that she will dox them herself if she has to in order to ruin their lives, only deleting the tweet because she didn't want to get mass reported off of Twitter. On August 29th, Keffals would state that a Kiwi Farms user identified her location and threatened to show up, but that she found her identity and told the police, again pointing out that the website needs to be taken down. This user would end up posting on 4chan that he went to her location instead of Kiwi Farms on August 30th when the site was back up, and Keffals would use this 4chan post to place the blame on Kiwi Farms rather than the site it came from the next day. The person would come to be known as Teddy, someone who had their own personal beef with Keffals as he believed she and the person she was living with were taking down Union Jack flags in place of transgender flags, and he was mad about it. At one point in a post from Jesse Singal, he stated he had no connections to Kiwi Farms, but instead is a foodist, a follower of Foodison, someone who is known for making videos saying bad stuff about people who have recently died. On the same day she posted the 4chan post, she mentioned how Northern Ireland police showed up to her door because someone had attempted to swat her, but that she was okay and fine, even saying the police were friendly to her. Also on the same day, Cloudflare responded to this campaign by Keffals with a blog post stating they don't like to take down sites simply because it can host bad content, but only if it's considered a legitimate threat to people. Keffals would respond after seeing this blog post, and the campaign would ramp up further after being acknowledged by Cloudflare about what she was doing. On September 3rd, Cloudflare would block Kiwi Farms from using their services after someone posted a threat on the site, along with the mounting pressure from the Keffals campaign, and the site would run into issues staying afloat for the next couple weeks.
Yeah, she uses her own propaganda to get what she wants. It's fucked up.
Keffals would make no mention of the unnamed website that doxed her back in March, hacked her Uber, and doxed her and her entire family during this entire debacle, or even try to shift the momentum to take down that site next, but either way, her goal in getting Cloudflare to drop Kiwi Farms was a success. Keffals would make a post saying the battle was won, but the war was far from over. Basically one of those self-patting back type things while reminding people this kind of stuff happens still, and she'll keep fighting so long as sites like Kiwi Farms are around on the internet. Kiwi Farms has struggled to stay online for a good minute, with the site constantly getting attacked by bad actors trying to keep it down, and things overall started to slow down on that end. Keffals and her army would go back to attacking Destiny, such as her mod Annie purposefully changing
what I'm talking about, like, in terms of holding a fucking grudge? Like, how long ago was this Destiny shit and she's still on about him? Like, Jesus Christ.
Wikipedia page to imply he was the reason she was banned on Twitch when that was a complete lie, with Keffals herself promoting it on her backup Twitter. She would even propose to buy the website from Joshua Moon as a sort of power move, but no cigar, as he wasn't going for any of that. After the success of her campaign, a user on the website Odyssey named Winter would leak DMs with her, showing her harassing him after thinking she got the docs of the Kiwi Farms user Winter, the person I mentioned earlier for y'all to remember. The messages took place on September 5th, and she would start by posting pictures of what she believed was his family to try and scare Winter, threatening him, saying how she has everything about him. She would make fun of him.
Honestly, she's just as bad. She's just as bad as the people on Kiwi Farms that doxed her. Just as bad. Like, no, she didn't swat them, but she's still doxing and bringing their family members who had nothing to do with this into the question, the same as the way that happened to her. Bitch, you're just as bad as these people. How are you not seeing that you're not any better?
For going to military school, brag about making 6 figures that year, and even says that the GoFundMe money is currently in her savings and not being used to sue the London Police Department like she said she would. The rest of their messages are literally just the two of them going back and forth, with Winter making fun of her thinking she doxed the right person, and Keffals acting like an anime supervillain trying to scare him after this fail dox. When people on Twitter asked Keffals why she tried to dox somebody despite supposedly being against it, she would instead dodge the question and ask why they would believe things from a Kiwi Farms user.
Good question.
During the entire Drop Kiwi Farms saga and afterwards, Keffals would make posts about going to places, such as how she got her IRL stream set up despite, you know, trying to avoid being doxxed by the bad people on the internet, and at one point accidentally showed her Twitter circle messages showing her vacationing around Europe and saying where she was going. During a stream on September 14th.
Yeah, because she's taking all that free money that she got from from sympathy dollars and playing the victim online. And then she's using that to go travel across the world and on vacation without a care in the world, while she's literally over here doing the same shit that has been done to her. And she doesn't see the hypocrisy here at all. Like, hello?
Keffals will say that she never said she would use the money to sue the police, but as we've seen before,
Bitch,
she said exactly that on August 10th.
The thing that they say with this is that I said that this money was for suing the police, which I never did.
You did.
Because I'm not just moving. I'm also taking legal action.
She would even say she was able to pay off a year's worth of rent with the GoFundMe money.
I have an apartment for October. I'm moving then. I have it. I've already paid. I'm putting it, I'm using the GoFundMe money to pay an entire year in advance.
Whenever people question her about whether she's suing the police or not, she'll either ignore or mock them, which while in character is still a sign of deflection on her end. She's even gone on record saying she will never do a GoFundMe breakdown because the people asking are bad faith. Guess it's bad faith trying to figure out if your money is being used for its intended purpose or not.
Apparently.
On September 26th,
She really
Keffals
is just
uploaded a
like
video
DSP,
from a
though.
stream she did.
I'm telling you, you look further and further into these different lolcows, they're all alike. They're all basically the same fucking person.
The week prior, clearing up any misconceptions about her initial swatting. The video is a giant mess, such as at one point when she says,
They did not go into my apartment until after I was in custody.
Yet if you remember, she initially said,
I
On
woke
August
up.
5th, I was woken up by London Police Services, pointing an assault rifle in my face at my home.
Keffals would even get her fiance Alex to give their point of view, and Alex would say,
and they actually had to go inside the apartment, like in our front foyer, almost right to our bedroom door, and they yelled at Clara while she was in bed.
So yeah, just a bunch
she
of
got
lying.
up, they were saying Clara Sorrenti. Note that they did not use her dead name at this point either. They said, Clara Sorrenti, we know you're in there. Come out with your hands up.
So, the police woke her up with a gun to her face, then she had the gun pointed at her in the hallway, but now they never even went into the apartment until they had her in custody. Oh, but they also entered the apartment and yelled at her to wake up to arrest her.
So which one is it,
Everything
bitch?
is a mess of contradictions and dare I say blatant lies, and that's not even me mentioning Alex pointed out the police never misgendered or used her dead name unlike what she initially said in her video. As all this was going down, Destiny was busy getting ready for a debate with Jordan Peterson, a controversial political figure. His fans were excited to see what the debate would entail, and so on October 2nd, people would tune into his live stream to watch everything unfold. However, Destiny would pull a switcheroo in his audience and reveal this to be his Keffals manifesto, going over everything that he and his team could muster up to show how evil of a person she is. The manifesto goes over a lot of his personal beef with Keffals and has a lot of what we covered in this video already, but there are a couple of parts with a lot of evidence to go over, so here we go. Destiny would go into the stories of the 3 people that committed suicide, apparently caused by kiwi farms. The first would be Chloe Segal, a transgender person who had a rough life through and through, such as attempting twice, once on her Twitch stream in 2013 and another in 2015. Kiwi Farms was made aware of her and made a thread in April 2015, with it dying in December 2017, 6 months before her passing in June 2018. After her passing, a friend would describe her as a person who dealt with a lot in life, ranging from chronic pains to
I
homelessness.
mean, that's just sad.
A prior partner
obviously.
would echo the same
That's just
sentiment,
fucked up.
saying her passing was from her life issues and the systematic struggles of trying to maintain a home along with mental health care, with no mention of Kiwi Farms. Given the evidence Destiny and his team provides,
So she will take, Keffals will take shit like that, where obviously it is difficult to be trans in the first place, and you have to deal with systemic transphobia and issues with society and them not accepting trans people, stuff like that, right? Because suicide rates unfortunately are very high for transgender people and LGBT people, mostly due to society in general, not because of kiwi farms. So chances are very high that unfortunately this lady Minecrafted herself, not because of kiwi farms, but just the issues that comes with being trans in the first place and having mental illness and stuff like that. But Keffals is such a horrible person that she will 100% use this to blame the Minecrafting on kiwi farms instead, when that's not the case. You know what I mean?
He would conclude her passing was because of a multitude of real-life systematic issues, and not because of Kiwi Farms making a threat on her. Next would be Julie Terryberry, someone who grew up in a very messed up household and still had mental issues of her own to deal with. She would start dating someone named Mike who was 10 years older than her, and Kiwi Farms would make a thread about her in February 2016. She would find a thread and taunt the users, telling them to get their story straight because they were bad at what they were doing. Her relationship with Mike would falter, however, and after breaking up, she would commit. Someone who was familiar with Julie as a kid would reach out to Destiny and his team and give their own point of view looking into her life. They would say that Julie grew up in a troubled household and at one point even gave her family some hand-me-down clothes after watching everything going on in their lives. They would say that they weren't aware of her Facebook posts or anything beyond just general stuff, and that while they can't say Kiwi Farms didn't have anything to do with their passing, she already had mental issues from her upbringing with no support group to help fix them. They also call out Keffals and those using her passing to push a narrative to further their own goals, saying that Julie had a hard life and didn't deserve her name to be dragged into this clout game.
Yeah, exactly, because like she's just using these people for her own personal war of attrition here, and like
conclude that placing the blame solely on Kiwi Farms is wrong, as Julie had already had a rough life even before her thread was made, and so with 2 out of the way, only one story remained. David Ginder was someone who was known in the emulation scene on the internet, but also had their fair share of drama as well. Kiwi Farms created a thread about them in May 2018, and was mostly inactive, with posts coming after long gaps up until Ginder posted in it themselves on February 7, 2020. They would thank people for gathering up all the weird stuff they've done on the internet and use it to move on in life, calling it a wake-up call for them, with people replying positively, much to the shock of Ginder replying positively as well. They would end up going AFK from the internet for a while in March 2020 after an unknown person had a dox of everybody in their life and they didn't want them to get dragged into their mess. Ginder would come back to the internet in October 2020, and on June 26, 2021, would email Joshua Moon asking him to take down their thread on Kiwi Farms, claiming the doxing was because of the forum, offering $120,000 in web services if he does. If he didn't accept the offer, however, Ginder would reply with a scan of their passport, proof of them in a photo, and then would commit. Moon and Ginder would go back and forth over email, and things would end off with Ginder saying that all Moon had to do was take the thread down, and that it's all on him now. A Twitter thread by Ginder would echo the same sentiment, pointing out that if Moon was compassionate to them, none of this would happen. Soon after, a friend of Ginder's named Hector would post a note on behalf of a friend of theirs, saying that it was all Kiwi Farms' fault for this happening. Hector would tweet that he spoke with the police and that Ginder did pass away, and that he wouldn't speak about it any further than that. Destiny concludes so far up to that point that it does seem Kiwi Farms is partially at fault for Ginder's death, but points out a crucial detail. There is no conclusive evidence that Ginder is actually dead. There are no police statements, obituaries, death certificates, nothing from their family, even nothing for the United States Department logs. Ginder's passport was never posthumously
I'm not blaming the person because I don't know. We don't know if they actually died or not at all. Like, but at the same time, it's kind of a little stupid to be like, "You don't take this down, I'm gonna off myself." Like, what? Why? Why would you do that? What? Like, I mean, obviously, I know why you would want the thread down. I get that, but off yourself because of that? No.
Posted even though they said it would be, and the only thing pointing in the direction that Ginder passed was Hector's tweet, the anonymous friend's note, and Wayne Beckett, their employer, posting a series of messages on Kiwi Farms himself, pinning the blame on them. Interestingly enough, in the USA Today article, Wayne says that while Ginder had been dealing with bullying online, Kiwi Farms wasn't named by them when explaining it. Destiny would conclude that it's possible Ginder just dropped their online profile, and that in order to prove Ginder actually passed, they would need some sort of evidence, but until now that's all up in the air. Something to note is that Destiny points out he found a Twitch account that might be attributed to Ginder, but has no way of proving unless someone else comes forward, so we'll have to wait and see on that.
If anybody knows what Nier's Twitch account was and can confirm it, if they know 100%, I can actually show that messages were posted on that Twitch account after Nier had supposedly committed suicide.
Destiny would go on to talk about the unnamed website and how they contributed more to Keffals' plight than Kiwi Farms, but that for whatever reason Keffals doesn't want to talk about them. He would talk about the swatting and go over the inconsistencies like we've seen already, and even talks about the time when
I wonder if the unnamed website at the time was Encyclopedia Dramatica, because I know that that website at the time was kind of pretty big too, and was like a sister channel to like Kiwi Farms, but it wasn't technically Kiwi Farms. Because again, I myself have had a single thread on Kiwi Farms about me back in 2017, I think. It wasn't a very long thread, and it kind of stopped pretty soon because I wasn't making any content at the time, so they just kind of laughed at me for being transgender and for being a furry, and that was kind of it. Now, at the time, I overreacted a little bit, and I was a little upset, but it wasn't that big a deal, and it died pretty quickly. So I was like, but it happens, you know, because it was like, meh. But I wonder if it was actually Encyclopedia Dramatic or
Ireland
not.
police went to her door. It turns out this wasn't a swatting attempt like she'd been trying to say, but it was actually someone who called the police to report the previous stalker that showed up to her place and took the picture outside. They give a statement to Destiny showing their frustration that Keffals would turn a good deed made out of concern into something out of malice to fit her narrative, and that they only reported to the police that someone had threatened her. He would talk more about the GoFundMe situation, and then would get into the DIY HRT website mentioned earlier run by Chloe, with a lot of info to go over. Now previously in this video, we went over that the site was made for minors to access hormones, that one of the sources made homemade medicine which was extremely concerning, and that Keffals started to support the website on June 26th this very year. Even as recently as September 14th, Keffals would state that she stands by supporting the website, showing that she wasn't backing down despite the very real concern of supplying minors with permanent body-altering drugs, run by someone who's bragged about getting minors on HRT behind their parents' backs.
I'm glad how well this went, because I stand by supporting the DIY HRT directory.
When questioned about this on the H3H3 podcast on September 9th, she would say it was just like a Twitch stream to the public, and then later on had to drop the slide once Ethan and Hila Klein noticed the link to the site on the top of her website.
So where do you guys do this? Is it like a Discord or something, or like a community?
Oh, it's like a Twitch stream.
Oh, just on Twitch?
Yeah.
So it's all just out in the public?
Yeah.
Because they make it sound like you have some kind of secret or some community spot that's not publicly seen where you're talking with kids and stuff, but that's not even the case.
No.
I want to give you an opportunity to talk about this because there's people who are pointing this out, that on your website, keffals.gg, you have a link here that says do it DIY HRT.
Yeah.
So
it's a website where people can learn about DIY hormones.
On September 13th, a user in the Destiny subreddit would make a post about the Otokonoko Pharmaceuticals website we've seen that makes homemade HRT, showing that they also have a guide on how to make your own bathtub HRT. Destiny and his team would find out that the link is still being passed around even after being scrubbed publicly from the internet, most likely through interested parties that trust one another, along with seeing that Neotard, the owner of the site, lied about its registry where she's located. Also something worth noting, a Twitter thread will show pictures of the boxing, and one of the sides of the box specifically says to keep out of reach of parents in bright red text, meaning this product was made for minors and to keep it secret from their own parents. Keffals herself is familiar with Otokonoko Pharmaceuticals, as when on the Red Planet podcast on March 15th, 2022, 3 months before she starts to sponsor Chloe's DIY HRT site, she makes reference on how someone talked about how concerning the boxing was to them.
I remember when Andy and how do you say his last name? NGO?
No.
Was like
Oh,
losing his
look, it's that dumbass Bad Bunny.
Yeah, he was losing his shit about the packaging.
What an interesting site to promote and sponsor. They will look into another linked site, Lena Kiev, and find out they had their own bathtub HRT guide as well, with an updated version coming out as recently as this year. The guide was even posted directly in Keffals' own Discord server, along with a message encouraging that person to use it for educational purposes, showing that her audience knows the existence of these homemade HRT websites. Destiny would question why Keffals has been so shifty about this info on the website, playing a clip of Chloe saying she personally knows all the providers on her own website.
All the homebrew suppliers that, I've listed.
What is this voice? Why is it like, I'm talking like this because, so like Trump, this is very secret, it's very good, this hormones would be amazing, and it's homebrew, okay? So, yeah, so, but no, what is this, like, trying to, like, be sexy voice or something? Like, what the fuck?
They're all people that I've, personally talked to, emailed, or DM'd. And
I'm just gonna
I know more
swallow
about
my
this
mic
than
right
for
now,
someone
okay?
The next day on
Like,
the 14th, those two websites would be silently taken off Chloe's website, and on the 15th, they would add a web crawler to keep track of the archive links Destiny and his team were keeping, along with adding an age gate despite the site's purpose being for minors to access HRT, as said by Keffals herself. Even small things like the mention of a miner to get Bitcoin was changed, clearly showing they were trying to scrub any mention of miners on the site to save their own skin. It was clear that Keffals, Chloe, and whoever else was with them were watching Destiny and his team and trying to thwart their investigation on the website. Things get really interesting on September 17th, when Chloe herself reached out to Destiny and was trying to figure him out and what he was doing, funnily enough inadvertently confirming those messages Keffals sent to Winter were legit and not fake like she tried to imply. Chloe would say that Keffals has offered to speak to him one-on-one to squash their beef after seeing Destiny was gathering this really incriminating info on her, and their convo would wane off about the drama, with Chloe admitting she regrets letting Keffals sponsor the site due to the drama surrounding her name. Destiny would get into a conversation with Keffals herself for the first time, with her trying to convince him to drop his investigation as it was a waste of time, notably saying that neither of them want to deal with the manifesto reaching the news cycle. She would say that she never wanted to talk about that unnamed website due to them being smarter than Kiwi Farms, and that if this situation ends up in the news cycle, it could lead to his YouTube channel being terminated. You know, a sly threat at Destiny for daring to search for the truth and publish what he and his team found on her. It gets even weirder though, as later on the founder of the Psychonaut wiki, Josekins, would message Destiny that night and try to say they were the founder of the DIY HRT site and started it with their friend, seemingly trying to fish for any info from him about his investigation while also trying to throw him off the scent. The DIY HRT GitHub repo would be taken offline so no future changes to the site could be tracked, and the site would get blacklisted from archive.org after being asked so. Destiny would beg the question, if the site is just a wiki listing sources as Keffals has claimed, what's with all the secrecy and fishiness surrounding the people involved, going as far to track everything they're investigating, so much in fact Keffals was willing to message him one-on-one to get him to stop. Funnily enough, during the stream, Chloe would start to message Destiny, showing that what he was dropping was really getting to her.
So I don't know why Chloe is messaging me right now saying she's never linked to any of this stuff or supported any of this before, but...
On September 19th, Chloe would step away from the DIY HRT site after claims of harassment, notably pointing out that Keffals had nothing to do with her decision to leave, which after seeing all the stuff Destiny and his team gathered, well, that's up for whatever you think. The link would be removed from Keffals' site shortly after Chloe left it. On a stream the next day, Keffals would say that Chloe left because of the harassment after the H3H3.
I know, like, we've been through a whole video almost, but, like, why does she have a website in the first place? At this point, she's not making content, so she's hardly streaming at all, or when she is streaming, it's like her just blaming everyone under the sun for her problems and making wild accusations to people, being a drama hound, and shit-talking people, right? That's not really that entertaining of entertainment, first of all, and second of all, why do you need a whole ass website just for that? Just for what? A small little Twitch stream that you have? Like, why would you need a whole ass website for that?
The podcast being too much to bear.
After I appeared on the H3 podcast, the harassment ramped up insanely against her because Ethan and I talked about the DIY HRT directory.
She explains that she won't be publicly involved with the site anymore because she's too high profile.
The problem with me is that my
you
profile,
a bitch? You're a liar, you're a manipulator,
is too high. And anyone who is like anyone who's associated with me basically is at the risk of getting harassed a lot. So I think like it's best if I stay away from things like the DIY directory, because although I support them and I want to see them succeed, my involvement publicly will hurt them. It will direct really bad actors towards them.
But given what we've seen,
what is this whole thing about actors? What's like, what is that? Like, I don't get that. Like, so like they're actors because they're pretending to like you or a thing, or is it they're actors because they're against you? I don't get that.
More things she's not willing to spill, and why exactly she and Chloe decided to leave the website. What we covered from the manifesto isn't even everything. There are so many moments of Keffals slandering Destiny that I didn't even include because it's better to hear it from the man himself, so I recommend checking out his video when you can. There are other miscellaneous things in it too, like when Keffals went off the handle in DMs after someone unfollowed her on Twitter, or how she tried to bully Jesse Singal into not speaking about the unnamed website that was part of the doxing, despite it being integral to the entire picture overall. The manifesto is a good piece of work from Destiny and his team, and they deserve its contents to be read for those wanting to learn more about Keffals and her overall internet presence. Keffals might be the most interesting individual we've gone over on this channel thus far. Never have I ever seen someone with such a large platform bully, berate, and lie to such a degree, and have a fanbase that listens to and echoes those same lies around the internet, mainly on Twitter from what I've noticed. All the shady stuff her, Chloe, and whoever else is behind the DIY HRT site and what they did trying to suppress the info Destiny and his team were gathering was insane. I understand if an underage transgender person is having issues getting the proper help they need, but to sponsor a website run by someone who's bragged about getting minors on homemade drugs behind their parents' backs is extremely suspect. After seeing all the evidence, it's pretty conclusive that the only reason she even dropped the site was because Destiny and his team were digging into everything and it could make her look bad. Otherwise, why try to talk to him for the first time ever to begin with? She did the same thing with Hunter Avalon after she realized their conversation could make her look bad, so there is no difference going on here. Recently, people started to question her for not using the GoFundMe money to sue the police like she initially said, so she would post and delete what looks to be a legal document, adding even more mystery as to what exactly is going on with all that. I tried my hardest to cover everything I possibly could on Keffals, but I'm willing to bet I missed a couple of notable things because she's gotten herself into that much shit with people on the internet. She has recently made comments on her Discord server trying to further her reach outside of Twitter on the internet, and I hope this video does its job in going over this person before any of y'all decide to support her or not, because y'all deserve to know the truth. There's really no proper way to end this video. I hope I don't need to make a part 2, but given how everything is looking and starting to turn against her, that may end up happening, so we'll just have to wait and see. Kiwi Farms is back up like nothing ever happened, so that entire crusade was for nothing other than clout in the end. One thing I just can't get out of my head is that given her entire internet persona revolves around a community of individuals whose sole purpose is to attack and silence others, I wouldn't be surprised if in the future she ends up getting more devious behind the scenes stuff exposed, because that's all these people want to do is epically own everyone while pretending they're a perfect person themselves. That's more of a Twitter thing in general, but it's still something I ponder about even after finishing up this video. Hell, making this video is a risk in of itself, because I'm certain that Keffals and those bad individuals are probably going to try to find out ways to silence me, whether it be reporting my channel or my Twitter page. They already tried with Rakito Lawwood mass reporting his YouTube channel before he got reinstated, and even recently at TwitchCon, Keffals
Well, we all know what happened to Rakito, so not because of her, of course, but because he fell down a whole pint of alcohol
to Destiny's wife and told her that if he doesn't stop going after her, that she'll get his YouTube channel banned. Thankfully, someone else was there when this happened and said their own piece on Twitter, otherwise who knows what kind of lie Keffals would have tried to conjure up by now. This is all some serious stuff, so just have to wait and see what happens in the future. What do you guys think about Keffals after going through?
Alright, so that's it for this video. I think that was basically all there was about her anyway. I do know that, like, there was a lot of speculation recently. Like, when was this video made? This video was made a year ago. And, well, yeah, October 17th, 2022. So, like, there was some speculation recently, as in, like, last year, that she was actually on a lot of hardcore drugs. But I will say, allegedly, again, allegedly, she was on a lot of hardcore drugs, and she was using a lot of that GoFundMe money for a lot of the drugs, and there might have been some videos where it looks like she was on drugs. But I'm done covering her for now. I just wanted to go over this kind of quick introduction type video to learn about her, because I've heard her name mentioned plenty of times on YouTube and Twitter and stuff, but I didn't realize just how shitty of an individual she really is, right? Because she's an online bully, and, like, she is obviously against freedom of speech 100%. And I'm not for dethroning, or not dethroning, I'm not for deplatforming or silencing or censoring other individuals unless they are spreading actual violence and hatred. And in this case, I'm not even talking about Kiwi Farms, like with Destiny, everything like that. Destiny, like these people weren't doing anything wrong. They weren't. They were sharing their own opinions, sure, but they weren't spreading hatred. They weren't spreading violence. They didn't deserve to be mass reported or deplatformed because of what they're saying. I mean, Kiwi Farms is slightly different because, like, again, they dox people. They do a lot of stuff I don't condone. But at the same time, it's just, I don't know. It's all a slippery slope. But she is not any better than the people that were attacking her in the first place. Like, you could have taken the high road. You could have not been a total asshole. Like, she, literally everything she has accused Kiwi Farms and other people have doing, she herself has done. Right? She has done the same fucking thing that Kiwi Farms and these other, and this unnamed website and everything like that has done. But that's it for Keffals for now. Maybe like in the next stream or something, I'll like try to find a update or a recent thing to see if there's anything else I must have missed, or maybe like offline I'll see if there's anything I missed and added to it. I don't know, but now we go back to the Pigroach here. None of these are in any specific order, but I got maybe like 5 or 6 different videos I want to go over really quick.
In order to save my ass from these state taxes,
This one I think was today or yesterday.
Came up
I think it was today.
So people come out, we're supportive of Phil. Let's cheer, let's tip. They do it, great. Now I'll get past the state taxes, but now.
But you will see that like her and every lolcow has very similar traits. You got traits of narcissism. You got this like hypocrisy, massive hypocrisy going on. You got this like kind of almost cult-like following that they garner again.
Tax. Oh, now you owe more because you made more money.
Or the actual lolcow.
Oh, just for the record, this is hilarious. So I know I had my stream.
Because there's 2 different types of lolcows in my opinion, right? You got the people like this, like DSP, like Keffals, like Cyrax, and these people, like people who are generally not good people. And then you got other quote-unquote lolcows, which I don't even really consider fake lolcows, I would say. I'm calling them fake lolcows, who didn't really do anything wrong. They're not that bad of a person. They just liked like, you know what I'm saying? So like when Kiwi Farms makes a thread on someone and they aren't like this, they only really are there because they're trans or because they're furries or because they're a brony or a weeb or like something that's not socially acceptable, but it's not hurting anyone. That kind of shit, right? Like, I don't really consider those real lolcows. But obviously, they're treated in the same category as people like DSP and Keffals, and that's not fair because, like, they're not really, at least, well, I'm speaking generally, of course, but, like, generally, they're not, like, nearly as bad of people as this, if at all. They couldn't be at all. They could literally have done nothing wrong other than being trans or liking furries or whatever they like that is deemed cringy. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know?
On Wednesday night, the Street Fighter stream. And then I was off yesterday. I come back this morning. Apparently, there's a detractor meme about steaks. I just want you to think about this. There's a detractor meme about steaks. I love it.
I love it.
These people are so fucking boring and bored with their lives that they actually...
Again. Because someone in like 5 seconds makes up a meme about DSP, they must be super boring and bored and they have nothing else going on in their life because they spent 1 to 2 minutes coming up with a funny meme based on some bullshit hypocritical shit that he said about steaks and video games not having steaks and stuff like that. I'm like, really? Oh, but no, they're boring people and they don't have a real life or anything else, blah, 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 because they're making a meme about me. They're criticizing me. You have no life if you sit there and make up a 1-2 second really quick meme about me. You have no life. I'm like, really?
Actually made a running meme about steaks that they've been talking
Like, if
about.
what he said is true, because I make a video or a stream about him, what, once a week, if that? Sometimes once every 2 weeks. But apparently I have no life because I dare to criticize him. I'm like, bitch, I have a job. I have plenty of other shit I do also. Like,
For a day and a half.
but no, I have no life,
I
though.
don't care. What the fuck are you talking about? No adult would care about your dumb meme about steaks.
It's
what the
it's
fuck?
funny. It's just
what they
it's
do is
funny.
they will micro-analyze a tiny
It's a
moment
joke.
of a stream that happened and act like it's a full-blown 4-alarm fire. It's like, what are you talking about?
No one is taking it seriously. No one is like making it out to be a huge deal. It's literally just a joke. That's a joke.
You want to know what happened? So I'm playing Street Fighter 6 and I was very frustrated because I was losing with Dalsim, and I'm trying to wrap my head around, why am I losing with Dalsim?
Because
And I
you
look at
suck.
the chat and here's what's going on.
Oof.
There's like 3 or 4 people who are actually excited and I look with Dalsim and I'm trying to wrap my head.
That is looking angry, guys. 2 liver spots on the forehead. Actually, I don't know if the liver spots are pimples or if he has a breakout or something, but yeah, those are looking pronounced and angry.
My head around, why am I losing with Dalsim? And I look at the chat and here's what's going on.
I look at the
There's
chat.
like 3 or 4 people who are actually excited and engaged with Street Fighter and trying to talk about it, and it's being lost in a drown.
It's very hard to be excited about Street Fighter when you're playing it, Phil. You do realize that, right? But this whole video is going to be about him trying to censor his chat so that his chat is literally only talking about Street Fighter, and that's it. I'm like, that's not really fair, is it, Phil?
A drowning of fucking discussion about people talking about steaks and
drowning?
barbecue, right? So I was like, I'll ignore it for a while, and I did. I literally ignored it and kept playing for like another half an hour.
Bullshit.
And then when I turned back, literally the entire stream chat was just talking about steaks and barbecue food, and I'm like, guys, this is my fucking Street Fighter stream. If you're here for other things, you're in the wrong spot. I know for a fact there's people who want to talk about Street Fighter, and they literally can't.
How do you know for a fact
you're
that
derailing
is?
the stream, which is against the rules. It's always been
What,
against
was like one fucking person talking about it? Oh, but it's against the rules for people to talk about things other than Phil. I forgot. My bad.
the rules of my streams to try to derail and talk off topic. You guys do the same thing with the sports stuff. Because again, it's another running meme.
I hate it.
Won't let
You
talk about
fucking
sports in the stream chat.
assholes.
That's not true.
Don't talk
But if you
about me
derail my
enough.
entire stream chat about sports discussion. You know I don't watch sports. You know I don't play sports. You know I know nothing about competitive sports or any of the athletes.
Why are you talking about shit that I don't like? Come on. I'm translating for him, by the way. This is me translating for him. You guys aren't supposed to talk about shit that I don't like. You're supposed to like the same things I like.
So why would you come to the DSP Gaming chat?
Why you even bother coming over here to my channel, even though I constantly bitch about views and how I'm not getting enough views and people aren't showing up anymore, even though, despite the fact I keep telling them to get the fuck out.
And do that and derail it and talk about sports. You're an idiot.
So there you go. Look at that. Hefty. That's a good 9-inch sub for
That's
$8.
some good bread too,
Yeah.
nice and fluffy.
Ugh.
You're derailing the chat. You're asking for problems, right? So these people were literally doing exactly
You're
the same
asking
thing
for
during the
problems. I'm
Street
gonna
Fighter
put
stream.
my foot
100%.
down.
They do it. It was done on purpose. This wasn't like, oh, it just spontaneously happened. These are people coming in here, and by the way, a bunch of the accounts were sock accounts. It was the same. person
Yeah,
talking.
he instantly knows they're all somehow sock accounts, but he can't ever seem to identify actual LARPers at all. Because like 99.999% of his chat are LARPers. They're not real fans, but he can only seem to identify the LARPers.
Into themselves because they think I'm stupid. They don't know.
Or he
that
can't
I know
identify
all
the
of their
LARPers.
sock accounts. Always, I know it's the
Oh,
same
the
guy.
clone
In here
accounts.
with like 10 accounts. He's a fucking loser.
Oh,
Sits
yeah.
on Discord talking about it and shit too.
Yes, Infinite, I'm well aware the guy tipping me is an imposter and not the real Papa Lou. I know exactly who he is. He's an idiot. He's the same guy. Remember I told you guys there was a guy who did $2 tips over the course of like a month and he did like 20 of them?
But anyway, so it was them purposefully trying to derail my Street Fighter stream, and it was actually pissing people off. Like
No,
they wanted to talk about
no,
Street
it
Fighter, and they
wasn't.
couldn't.
It fucking was not, Phil. Shut up. It was not pissing anyone off. It was pissing you off. So you're saying that it was pissing other people off because you don't want to say it was pissing you off.
Like why is no one here talking about Street Fighter on a
Why
fucking
is
Street
no
Fighter
one
stream?
talking about
Snakes
Street
shit. So I
Fighter and
laid down the
stroking my
law about it
EP-ness?
and said stop, and then fucking what's his name, Friendly Gremlin, gave me lit back. He's like, oh well, this stream's like boring. There's nothing to talk about. I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing on a fighting game stream then? If you don't like fighting games, go somewhere else to talk about something else, right? Like what the fuck?
Again, he is the one who always bitches about not getting enough viewership. If all his fans actually left because they didn't like that particular game that he was playing, he would have no one on stream.
Do you go into a meeting about a book club talking about this week's book and say,
It wasn't a meeting, and he keeps trying to portray his streams as being these like cozy get-together places where you can come and talk to Phil. No matter what game I'm playing, you can come over here, children. Come over here to my stream and sit down. We have a chill, cozy atmosphere where we sit and talk together. I'm like, he always loves to portray his streams as like a place like that they can get together and be friends and talk together. But that's obviously not what he wants. What he wants is for his dents to think that they have a nice place that they can hang out and for them to give him money, because they'll be more likely to give him money if they're hanging out in his chat. But he also wants them to talk only about him and only about the game he's playing. They can't talk and be friends and have a natural, actual community that grows and develops together with him. No, he doesn't want that, though.
wow, I hate books.
Like, why can't you just let your fans
gifted 20 memberships to the
talk
channel.
amongst
Oh my
themselves and
God.
grow
What a fucking
and develop
idiot.
as a
No,
community?
stupid.
It doesn't
And
make
that's what I
any
mean. People
sense.
think that my streams sometimes are just some kind of place to go in and just, oh, let's just talk about hanging out about other shit. Like, dude,
You
that's
have
so disrespectful
you
to-
have portrayed your streams as such before, Philip. You have portrayed your streams as such. Plenty of times you have portrayed your streams like that.
the streamer.
And
Just
now
go into
you're
someone
telling
else's
them
chat.
that's
Let's just
not true and
completely
that's
derail it on
not the
topics that have
case
nothing to do with what's going on
after
the stream. That's
years
disrespectful.
of
That's
pretending
rude
your
place of
streams
business
to
and
that.
completely derailing the business. Don't do it.
It's
against the
not a
rules,
real
it always has to.
business.
It's one thing if there's a
It's
natural discussion,
not.
but if the streamer says something, hey man, stop, and you keep doing it, you're a fucking asshole and you're liable like everyone else to get moderated. All right. And by the way, this whole thing I'm talking about, we have now just spent more time on this by like 10 times than what happened on the stream. The stream was literally, people are talking about steak. Okay, I'm gonna keep playing the game. So I play for another half hour. I turn back and I see people upset because they can't talk about Street Fighter because everyone's talking about steak.
No
And I
one
lay
was
down the law. It
upset.
was like 1 minute.
No one was
and
saying
then
that.
Fucking stupid friendly gremlin gave me lip, and I gave him back and said, "Stop! Don't disrespect me on my stream." And that was it. It was over. It was like 60 seconds. But this is the meme for a day and a half. Why would you even entertain that? The moment that some moron says steak explosion on DSP stream, you say, "Do not recommend on YouTube ever." This is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Don't listen to anyone who's daring to criticize me. Only listen to me because I want to control the entire narrative myself. And you shouldn't be getting any actual facts or information by anyone else other than me. I want to spoon feed you the only information you will receive. I want to control your entire narrative.
And you move on. Like literally 60 seconds out of a fucking 2.5 hour Dalsim stream is somehow the focus of the stream. No, it's
Because
not.
that was the only entertaining point of the whole stream. The rest of the stream was boring as fuck.
If you're a fucking mouth-drooling moron, would you think that that was important?
You
Let's
are a
see.
mouth-drooling moron, sir.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Stop bothering me. You have to be the most boring, idiotic, mind-numbingly dumb person to think that a 60-second moment talking about don't derail my fucking stream chat about steaks has anything to do with reality or what was going on in that stream. Don't lower yourself to the level of the idiot who wants
No
to
one
waste your time
cares.
to make money.
No
'cause that's what
one
they do.
cares.
They're making clickbait sensationalist videos to try to get your attention so that you'll
No,
waste
they're
your time
making videos on this insane, like, rant. I don't know if I would call it a rant yet, but they're not making videos about that. They're making videos about this insane cope session that you're having here and how you're being a hypocrite with your own channel and deterring your fans from forming any sort of community whatsoever.
Actually was a big deal. It wasn't. No one cared, right? At all. It doesn't even make sense what you're saying. That wasn't the focus of the stream. It wasn't a big deal. You're just idiotic. If you buy into that stuff, you're really dumb. You have to stop buying into nonsense like that. Okay.
God, you're dumb.
Yes,
You're
and
so
again,
dumb. Oh my
how
God, you're
moronic
dumb.
That you would. Oh, your friend Brian reacted to it. Yes, because you morons went to his chat and harassed him for a day
You
about it. So that he reacted to the clip,
morons.
and acting like it's a big deal when it's not a big deal. You are fucking idiots. Every one of you who entertains this shit is a fucking moron. I don't care. This has nothing to do with me. This is you and your weird fantasy world where you hyper focus on arbitrary things that
Fantasy.
happen and act like it's a big deal. No adult cares about you or your thoughts on this shit. Okay? No one.
And now
I
you're
will
making
continue
wild
to run
assumptions on
my
people.
streams as I see fit. The rules will still stay in place. People will not derail, and you can.
And then he wonders why his quote unquote business that isn't a business, but now it is a business, but now it's not a business. Why his business is failing so much? I wonder why your business is failing, sir.
Go off if you don't like it. It's insane. Now,
It's
in
insane.
reality, it's
Oh
funny
my God.
because
Oh shit. Yo, the editing is goated.
you know. By the way, how about this? I don't know what the.
Yo, that editing was godlike. Oh
YouTube
shit.
allows it. YouTube just allows slander campaigns for personal gain. In reality, it's funny because.
Oh shit. Yo, that's good
you
shit.
Know, by the way, how about this? I don't know what the. When? Now go make your videos about it, bitch. Because that's all you're gonna do. Make more stupid videos for dumbasses.
I'm making a video about
right? And
this.
fuck off.
I wasn't making a video
Who
about the
cares?
other thing.
Stop
No,
fucking
other
bothering
people
me with-
were.
with nonsense, right? You're so dumb.
You're so dumb. My
Why?
God, you're so
Just
dumb.
Think about that.
And
a day and a half, that's what you were thinking about and talking about. Here I am having real
He
life.
still doesn't get the point that, like, people were making jokes and memes about stakes because he mentioned the whole there's no stakes in any video game he plays ever. Like, it took him, like, it doesn't mention that here because this is after the fact where he got it now. But it took him so long to realize and wonder why everyone was talking about stakes in his chat. He's like, what are you talking about? Why are you all talking about different stakes? Because they're memeing, obviously, about that. So this is after that fact. But before it, it took him so fucking long to realize that's what they're talking about. It's like, no shit, dumbass.
You know, going on, stressed out, trying to get stuff done on my day off. You're talking about stakes. You're an idiot. Huh? I didn't. They were saying stakes. You
What?
said there's no stake in Street Fighter when you're playing ranked. Are you kidding?
Oh, this is
That's
where-
what it,
okay.
That makes it even worse. You understand? That makes it even worse. So I said there's no stakes in playing ranked Street Fighter, meaning there's no real risk or reward for it. It's just, again, it's just arbitrary gameplay. It doesn't matter how many points you have. It doesn't mean anything.
Which is a lie.
And these idiots tried to use wordplay semantics to make a brainless meme out of it.
Yeah, you know, like kind of how you use wordplay and semantics all the fucking time.
You actually can't. I didn't know that. You actually couldn't actually do something dumber than that, I don't think. That might actually be the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
No, you've done plenty that was
I
dumber.
didn't know that. I had no idea that's what that chat was about. I didn't know that.
Wow, you're
All I know is
stupid
I'm trying
then.
to play Street Fighter, and absolutely the entire chat's derailed.
Wow,
by a bunch
you're
of fucking
so
phone accounts with
stupid.
the same
Holy
guy with like
shit.
5, 6 accounts, and a few other people who were jumping in on the bandwagon of trying to be stupid and dramatic about nothing. Right? How stupid, man.
You're so
Oh my
butthurt
God.
about
These fucking
nothing.
trolls are so boring. They do the same shit over and over. God, it's the same shit too. It's like they don't think of anything original or interesting. It's the same fucking stuff, man. Anyway, well, thank you for clearing that up. And by the way, again, don't worry about that shit. It's a one-off dumb thing. Sadly, what I would have to do, because here's the thing, people are like, well, if you didn't say anything during the stream and maybe you just moderated, it would have been fine. Do I really want to just start moderating people, blanket moderating? Oh, by the way, Avarice,
That's what
I
you've
didn't
done
write
in
down
the
your name.
past. What? How's that going to
I have
change
no idea why
now?
I just did that. I tried to moderate that troll above you there, and Avarice, it kicked you out, and I'm sorry. I just tried to unban you. Hopefully it fixed. I was trying to get this stupid Derek clone.
Doesn't even know what the hell he's doing.
Avarice by accident. I'm sorry, Avarice. I think my chat is delayed.
Sorry,
Let me
Avarice.
refresh my
Oh my
chat.
God.
I certainly don't want to accidentally ban people. That was messed up. Sorry about that. Really? There is an AI chat summary now? What the hell is this? People are discussing
hell
a
is
streamer's
this?
supposed ban of the word. See if that shows up for you. Summary. Right now. Everyone just say, well, talk about the AI
All right,
summary.
I don't care about the AI summary. Shut up.
So I need to raise money in order to save my ass from these state taxes out of nowhere that came up out of nowhere. So people come out, we're supportive of Phil, let's cheer, let's tip. They do it, great. Now I'll get past the state taxes, but now federal tax. Oh, now you owe more because you made more money.
and you should technically be able to hear Brian. Brian, what's going on, man?
Yo, what up? What up, Ted?
Facing Brian, top tier rated over on Twitch.
Oh, his
Guys should check
new
out his stuff. He does a
friend.
lot more stuff than me, a lot of different stuff.
He
A lot of
has a
Fortnite
new
stuff, too, as well as Street
friend.
Fighter.
Yeah, what the fuck? Why don't you play Fortnite, Doc?
I hate Fortnite.
You hate Fortnite?
I
think
can't
you would like
stand it.
Zero Build.
I can't stand. I never tried Zero Build, so maybe maybe
It's
I'm
good.
being ignorant. But I just don't like Fortnite.
You are
Bouncing
ignorant.
off of springs, and you're floating down, and you're doing stupid aerial
Oh,
shit.
Lord.
It's so dumb. Just give me a fucking normal shooter. It's like it really is like a shooter for kids or people who like.
So I want to say one thing super quick about this Brian situation thing. Like, it's good that he has a friend technically now. But we all know DSP. And this isn't even me jumping to conclusions. This is me looking at his track record and his history of having friends online and offline. And it's pretty easy to tell that, like, he doesn't really view Brian as a friend. He views Brian as a tool to help earn him more money, right? Like, so obviously he is going to overuse Brian the same way that he treated Howard and John. So he's going to only ever use Brian when they're streaming and keep pestering him every fucking time to have him come on so that he could try to make money off of him. That's the whole fucking point. And we all see this, except Brian apparently doesn't see this. But yeah, it's pretty obvious it's the same thing over and over again. Because Phil never learned from the last time. He still blames everything on John and Howard. He doesn't blame anything on himself and how he mistreated them at all.
I can't concentrate, so I need something else to do besides shoot people. Oh, on a fly, I want to just build a fucking giant tower. It just looks so stupid. You just build a wall, build a wall, build a wall, build a wall, build, dodge, jump, build, dodge, jump, build, build. And then after 5 minutes of building, avoiding people who are actually trying to play the game and shoot him, then he pulls out a gun, bounces behind them, and executes them. It's like, this is stupid. It's like a clown. This is like a clown shooter. Why not put up your own fucking bozo red nose and makeup and fucking play the game that way?
And he always has the worst takes in game.
Fucking Phil lag switching. It went from yellow. It went from green to yellow.
Yes, it did. What did you just see? You saw him try to cheat. He literally activated a lag switch to cheat at the end because he knew I was going to beat him. So he tried to cheat. He's a fucking piece of shit.
Yo, is that question for me? Do I think DSP is cute?
Oh my god. Fucking weird people. Weird people, man.
Phil's not my type, bro.
Don't answer that.
No, they asked the right one, bro. That's funny.
No one thinks DSP is cute. No one. He's an ugly motherfucker.
Come on, Phil. It's funny. It ain't funny. It's funny as fuck. You gotta laugh at shit like that. Come on, dude.
Slurp it up like fucking noodles, like hype. Oh, ooh, gotta eat it. Gotta eat it. Eat the hype. Oh,
Someone asked, do you use a fight stick or are you on pad?
I'm on a fucking controller, bro.
You're on a pad, yeah. I mean, this game can be played on pad. I really don't think there's anything in this game that really needs a joystick. It's just I'm so used to it. You know, I just play it anyway.
Cheater! Oh my god, what a fucking cheater!
A first tip of the night, a $5 tip from Squid Game contestant number 5.
Yo, that name is crazy.
Would you trust Tesla bots to drive your kid to school? I don't have kids. So the answer is no.
I mean, it's a hypothetical situation, dummy.
All right, so let's put that question into perspective, all right? If you had no choice, let's say you had a son, little young Phil, right?
Yep.
He needs to go to school. Priority, he has to go to school. You got to go to work. You got to stream. You can't take him. Nobody can take him. All you got to rely on is a Tesla car. Now, do you send him?
I don't trust.
Still no? Wow.
Tesla car? I don't trust Tesla.
Yeah, I'm
No
tweeting
way.
Elon Musk.
No way I trust Tesla. Absolutely not. Under no circumstances do I trust Tesla with my child. Maybe in like 50 years of testing of that technology, but not now. Hell no.
What is love, baby? Don't hurt me no more.
Have I played WWE Champions? No.
Oh my god.
I probably never will.
There's still this back here. And it's still,
Still
in the back of
back
my
of my
neck,
head,
the back of my
back of my
head, the
head.
back of my mind, and it's always telling me.
It's WWE Champions time. I
So
love
like
it.
Who?
I
Sweaty
love
men and
it.
falling gems. I don't even know what that means, brother.
Don't listen to the nonsense. Don't listen to
erotic
these
as
idiots.
fuck, though.
Thank you, Hair of the Dog, for a super chat. Appreciate that, Hair of the Dog. Hope everyone's enjoying the lobby tonight. Again, guys, sorry that I'm not really speaking with you much, but concentrating on the lobby here with Brian. I think it's going well. You guys like how everything turned out?
So
with
hard to
the
concentrate.
microphone and everything.
That's actually ironic. I do have a peanut butter complexion. Oh my god. Phil, you got peanut butter complexion, bro?
Nah.
You got a tan, man.
Do you like the chunky or the smooth? Peanut butter complexion. You actually kept saying peanut butter complexion against yourself like it's something positive, okay? Do you know what peanut butter is? You
It's
understand what it
oil,
is?
it's grease.
Fat, it's oils, it's grease,
Yeah.
and it's all smashed together into this ooey, sticky paste. You ever actually touch peanut butter? You know what it feels
And
like? It's
again, he
gross.
was referring to the color, not literally, you dumbass.
It's disgusting. You get it on, you're like, oh, it's stuck on my hands. I gotta go wash my hands. I can't get it off. There's
Oh
peanut
my
butter
God,
all over.
he is so
it's stuck to the
stupid.
roof of your fucking mouth when you eat peanut butter. It tastes good, but it's actually gross.
Would you play LTG for 5 bands? I will play LTG for free.
I won't play for less than $5 grand. He's too important. I just care about money. I just can't help it. I'm so just enveloped in greed and money. I need money. I need money.
I mean, I've played LTG before. I played them in 5. Is sports allowed to be discussed? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? Phil doesn't allow people to talk about stuff.
You know, everything they're asking you is a meme about me. Every single thing they're saying is a meme about me.
It's a meme?
It's a meme, yes. Nice. No, I don't follow any sports teams. I do not care about sports.
So why wouldn't they just go and watch Brian's stream instead of DSP's stream then? Like, Brian seems like a lot more chill and entertaining character than DSP.
Not getting the level. That I do care about. I come back from that. That was embarrassing. That was...
Manoa Trunley, who do you pick to sleep with for one night? I mean, if I get a hall pass, Mano. Is that a serious question?
I'm sorry that I'm not like other streamers and other YouTubers who sugarcoat every fucking thing and act happy-go-lucky positive every possible moment. I'm a real human, you know? I'm actually a real human who doesn't do that shit and pretend.
You're not even a real human, Phil.
So many mistakes.
Locked on.
Chad, they didn't give Cammy cake. They gave her the entire bakery.
Penne is my favorite pasta shape.
What? What? What?
I forgot about that. Holy shit.
What the hell?
All right, man. Well, that was good stuff. Thanks for the matches. Thanks for the practice. Thanks for the limited conversation. And thanks for suggesting the mic, because it actually I do think is much better.
It's your fault. It was a limited conversation. You were awkward as fuck trying to hold down a conversation. This, like, I get it. Like, I can be an introvert. I'm a hermit. I don't like going out that much, but I can hold down a fucking conversation. This guy, like, he is so awkward trying to talk to and have, like, a normal, friendly banter. There's none of that. There's no friendly banter. There's no actual conversation. Like, when he does ask him a question, it's yep, nope, that's it. Like, there's no going on from there. It's no like, well, no, but I actually like this, and like, there's none of that. It's just
better with the mic, obviously.
Yes,
so awkward.
Yeah. No, you know, hey, I'm down for it. It's just, you know, it's been many years since there's really been a reason. So I haven't even had any of this stuff set up or anything, you know.
No, I hear you, dude. Yeah, dude. Other games, man. I really think you should check out Fortnite again. It's good content.
That's past the prime of anything that I want to play at this point. Like, I would have to be so late behind the game to try to get into something like that.
So I'm gonna throw a list of games at you real quick. Rainbow Six.
Oh, I played it at launch. It was awful. I've heard that it's way better now. But again, that's one that I'm so many years behind that it probably would be like such a catch-up.
No, he's not gonna say yes to any of these.
How about Warzone?
Yeah, when the new Warzone comes out, like the next every single year when Call of Duty comes out, I play the multiplayer, I play Warzone, I do all of it.
Actually, you skipped last year's, I think.
Later this year, I'm 100% down for that. As for this current Warzone, again, you know, I actually didn't really like it that much. The map.
No, he's talking about Black Ops 6. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, when they incorporate that.
Yeah, the new one. They're going to. You know, it's going to be huge. You know, so I'm down for that when the new one comes out for sure. That way we can all learn it at the same time. You know.
Yeah. Because I know we skipped last year, or last one. All right.
army, bro.
Hate army.
Shout
that
out
guy.
to
Hate army.
hate.
Good vibes.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for hate.
Oh my goodness, everyone. Things are heating up here on DSP Gaming because we've got a new streaming week, essentially a new streaming month, updated setup, updated quality. I've got so much to talk about in regards to all of the cool updates that I've now done here with my streams and my on-demand videos. It's going to be a wild day for sure. Plus, Phil's day off with a lot to talk about and the state of play yesterday with tons of gaming news coming out of it. And the best part, no politics here on DSP Gaming. All this and more
scam
on today's
DoorDash?
episode of the Level 1 Podcast. Where am I? Alrighty, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. Today is Friday, the 31st of May, 2024. I'm DSP, and the future is so bright that I've got to use a 1980s reference.
Ugh.
Get the joke? Okay. Anyway, welcome here to the show on DSP Gaming. It is time for a brand new streaming month. By the way, guys, I already said no politics, and if you guys start talking about politics in the chat, I'm just going to remove you all from the chat. This is a no politics stream.
Yeah,
well,
Rob.
And I'm not going to have people come on here trying to derail my chat. I'm just going to get rid of you. I'm not going to say a word about it. So there's your one warning. If I see it, you're gone. Okay. Cool. Now, the other funny story that I have to tell you about, all right, is yesterday, since it was my day off, I had a meal with my wife.
A succulent Chinese meal.
And this is the one day a week we do not cook. We order out. So that
Oh,
way we get a day away from
bullshit.
having
You go
cook.
out to
We do
eat
both
every
meals
fucking day.
Okay. So we're trying to figure out what to get. And we're like, man, you know, we've had all these different various things recently. Don't really feel like this. Don't really feel like this. And we're like, why don't we just randomly pick a new spot? Okay. And so sometimes when you search for certain kinds of
Every
food,
time he goes
these food
to a
apps will
new
recommend
spot,
things
it
or
always
toss
fucks him
something
up.
into there randomly. And so we literally went like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We pick a spot. All right. It's Asian, like it's supposed to be like Asian fusion food or something.
Oh
So
my
wife
god, he always
picked
goes for
a
Asian
combo
fusion
plate. It's like
food.
chicken teriyaki and Mongolian beef. And I picked sesame chicken. Okay.
Mongolian beef does
So we
sound pretty
order, we
good.
wait, the food gets delivered pretty fast too. And we sit down, we open up our food. First of all, my wife's. So the Mongolian beef looks pretty good. It looks like tender slices of beef mixed in with some kind of a sauce, some veggies. It looks decent. Okay. The chicken teriyaki, you can tell they fucked it up because the edges are overcooked. The edges of the chicken are burnt. Now you're supposed to have like a singe on chicken teriyaki that makes it have like a toasted charcoal
Singe.
flavor, but you're not supposed to overburn the edges, which they did. So you could eat certain pieces of it were fine, and other pieces
My
were like
boy.
inedible. It was like a rock. Like how am I supposed to eat this, right? So that's
With
already
your
a bad
teeth.
sign.
You usually eat food with your teeth, chewing them down?
Let me ask you all a question.
How fragile is
Okay.
his teeth?
When you hear the term sesame chicken, okay, what do you typically think?
I thought
I'm
you had
curious.
teriyaki
First of all,
chicken. Which one
when
is
you
it,
order
Phil?
sesame chicken, are you expecting to get like a marinated chicken with sesame sauce or sesame seeds on it, or are you expecting to get breaded chicken? Because it's different. I think different restaurants do it differently, correct? Like some places would actually just do like chicken breast or dark meat chicken, and they would cook it, marinate it, right? And then put the seeds on it, and then that's fine. But the other places would bread the chicken. You have breaded pieces of
I usually, like, most of the time when I do order sesame chicken, it's not breaded at all. It's usually, like, in the sauce with the sesame seeds on it or whatever. I've never seen breaded sesame chicken.
that they put into like a sauce with the seeds on it, right? So it totally is different. So Don Finucci says sweet chicken with a crispy breading. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I think that when you say sesame chicken, it's supposed to have a sweetness to it, correct? I believe that's correct. All right. But I think it depends on the restaurant how they're gonna do it. All right. So first of all, I open up the package and immediately I think I got the wrong thing. Okay, I'm like, this can't be it. But then I see there's sesame seeds all over it. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is the right thing then. Okay. So here's the thing. First of all, you can tell the sesame seeds have nothing to do with the dish. They just sprinkled them on top. They weren't cooked in it. There's no sesame flavor in it. They literally just took seeds on top and then closed the package. Okay. That's your sesame chicken. So you would say, oh, sesame chicken, breaded pieces of delicious chicken. It's like probably a little crispy on the outside, tender on the inside, a nice sauce, right? It's nice, marinated, so it's tender and good. So, first of all, hilarious. I always say include utensils, so that way we don't
Why
use
is
our
that
own washer.
hilarious?
Give us for utensils, right? So he gives plastic forks. So I take the plastic fork. I'm like, let me try a piece. And I immediately look at it and I realize this chicken is bone dry. There is no sauce on this chicken whatsoever. None. Zero. What it is, it looks like there's chicken, like dark meat chicken clumps, not even like strips or clumps with a coating on it. And I'd like to say it was breading, but I have a hard time calling it that. Okay? So all it looks like is clumps of chicken with this.
Why does he
coating on
always
it.
have an issue
Zero
every time he
moisture to it
goes to a
whatsoever.
new place?
Okay? So I take
He
my
is
fork
like,
and I go to
like, take my word for it. He is 100% a Karen. He will find anything to complain about so he could try to get a refund for it because he's that cheap of an asshole.
okay, so this is the chicken, here's the fork.
Guarantee you he doesn't tip at all.
Wait, what?
Sorry.
The fork. The
100%
plastic
he
fork
doesn't tip at all either.
wasn't strong enough to penetrate the coating of the chicken. The actual pointy parts, the teeth of the fork, were bending up and down as I tried to fork the food. It was inedible with the plastic fork because the plastic fork was not strong enough to get through the coating they put on this chicken.
Why are we not using a regular
"What
fork,
the
dummy?"
hell?" Okay, let me go get a metal fork out of my own drawer. All right.
Yeah, that's
So I go
what
get a
you're supposed
fork,
to be
and I'm
using,
literally
dummy.
Trying to move it around, and it's stuck like rock candy. This shit is stuck together in the plate, and I'm like, oh, I'm trying to break it apart. Like, oh god, no lie, it was actually glued to the bottom of the styrofoam container. It was stuck to it. It wouldn't move at all. Like it was made of glue. I was like, what the hell? So I was like, maybe this is a unique take on sesame chicken. Allow me to try a piece of this chicken. So the first piece, I pick it up. It's about the size of a piece of popcorn chicken, but it doesn't have that kind of breading. You know, popcorn chicken has that distinct breading that's crunchy and savory. This doesn't. This is like the weirdest breading coating I've ever had. So I pop it in my mouth, and I get through the coating with my teeth. It's very sweet.
With my
with
teeth.
a little bit of savoriness. Absolutely no sesame flavor whatsoever. The meat is dark meat chicken, but I'm trying to eat it. I'm like, this ain't right. Like, whoever made this doesn't know what sesame chicken is, and this might be some weird recipe that they use. Maybe they use this for multiple different dishes, and then they just adjust it to what it's supposed to be. Like, I could see them making this and then adding a sauce, and it's a different kind of chicken, right? In this case, just toss sesame seeds on it. Oh, that's sesame chicken.
It was probably more closer to like actual authentic actual authentic Chinese food as opposed to like commercialized, bastardized American Chinese food that you usually see. It's probably more like that.
Right? So, I'm not kidding.
But I don't like the authentic real ones.
Some of it was like rock hard. Absolutely rock hard. Some of it just looked like it was just the coating and no chicken in it. So I'm trying to find pieces of chicken. I ate maybe 5 little popcorn pieces of chicken.
Sorry, I'm eating chips.
That was it. Was just that.
I'm trying to keep it away from the
I was like,
mic.
this is disgusting.
Loud.
Like, I can't believe it. And then my wife told me how basically her chicken teriyaki was also very bad, that it was overcooked and it was inedible in parts because it was like burnt to shit. And I was like, this place sucks ass, man. Like, what a disappointment. I said, you know what? I'm not getting screwed like I got screwed with Qdoba the other day. If you remember, during my Indies marathon on Saturday.
And that Qdoba looked fine. There was nothing wrong with that Qdoba.
So I immediately reported the issue. I said, this thing is way overcooked. You could tell this is not supposed to be like this. It's gross. Send us a picture. So I sent them the picture, and they did refund me. Okay? So I got refunded for the food. Now, I ate maybe 5 pieces of the popcorn chicken. And I said, you know what? So here's what we'll do. We'll hold on. For now, we'll wait. I'll wait till later tonight, and if I'm hungry, we'll eat something else, right?
The only time I ever wanted a refund or a return or talked to a restaurant and like complained was when I got the wrong order. That's the only time. I don't complain about the quality of the food or anything like that. Like, but if they get the order totally 100% wrong, then maybe I'll like, hey, could I just get a replacement so I can get what I actually ordered as opposed to whatever this is? That's the only really time.
And I did get hungry later. We ended up getting like one of those frozen pizzas we got from the grocery store. So we had like a frozen pizza with supreme pizza. It was rising crust. It was pretty good. So that was basically what I ate. But
that's bullshit.
Basically,
100% he ordered an actual pizza, not.
And I'm like, all right, well, let's see what happened. Within 20 minutes, I'd use the bathroom. Okay? The first bathroom break was normal.
Oh,
but
no.
it's weird that I had to use the bathroom within 20 minutes of eating 5 pieces of overcooked popcorn sesame chicken.
Oh,
correct?
no.
So then I waited about 2 hours, and then I had a little emergency, and I had to run to the bathroom. Okay? I think you can figure out what happened that time. Okay? And then about 30 minutes after that, we had another emergency. I had to run to the bathroom. I think you're figuring this out at this point. Now, we almost had a full Zen Key emergency.
What?
You might say, what the hell are you talking about? Because I haven't told you this story. Many years ago, there was a new Chinese restaurant that opened in our area called Zen Key. That was the name of the restaurant, okay? We ordered.
What, do you have to get your stomach pumped? You can't handle it, Philip. Poor little Philip's tummy is all hurty.
At the time. It got delivered. And when it got delivered, they had put so much sauce into the food. It had dripped into the bag, and the entire bag was full of liquid. Okay? To even get the food out of the bag, we had to put it in the sink. So then we took the food out and we ate it, and I ate that food, and I got so sick that night. I think I may have pushed the limit of what the human body can do in a bathroom. Let's just put it that way. It was coming out every direction. All right. It was over the top bad. And so we call that a Zen key level emergency because I've really never gotten that sick from food before.
Wow,
and
you're
by the
so
way, for the record,
creative.
that restaurant went out of business. They had just opened when we ordered from them. Within about a year, they completely went out of business. And it's probably because they were getting people sick constantly with bad food. Okay?
Or because your stomach can't handle it?
Anyway, we were almost to a Zen key level of emergency last night. Luckily, it was only coming out one way.
Oh my
But
god.
it was way too frequent. All right? Like, it was destroying me. But after about 3 to 4 trips...
Not enough fiber in your diet, poor Philip.
It finally leveled out. I ate some pizza, and that was my night. So...
Why does he like shit so much? He always talks about poop.
When you're ordering,
He's such a
especially when you're ordering
scat
from places
fetish.
you order from before.
Fetishist.
In this case, most of the reviews were actually good, but it didn't have a lot of reviews. I noticed like each dish had maybe like 5 reviews, and I'm like, gee, I wonder if this is a relatively new place, kind of like Zen Key was when we ordered from it. But yeah, like I am never ordering from this place again. 5 little bites of sesame chicken had me running to the bathroom all night long. That is not a good sign. I'm at least glad I got my money back. So now next week when we have our day off and we order, we usually get a free meal, so that's good. But man, that is frustrating, right? Okay, so anyway, that was Phil's day off, folks. That's the stuff. I was setting up and testing the new equipment, and basically I was pooping all day long. All right, not very pleasant.
Oh my god. Oh, I thought I hit start.
End of the cable that came with the mic, and I will plug it into this. What I will do, I will take the end of the cable that came with the mic, and I will plug it into this connector to extend the length of the cable.
This was when he was trying to set up the new mic, I think.
Then...
Wait, so what? He took the end of the
extend the length of the cable.
Okay, he's extending the length of the cable.
Then...
Uh-huh.
I will plug this end of the cable into the back of the microphone itself. Whoa.
Okay.
Okay, it's right on the back is the USB port right
Yeah,
there.
we know how mics work, dummy.
Like so.
Okay.
So, technically that should be it. Let's turn on my PlayStation.
Wait, did you plug the other end into anything? Wait. Are you plugging the other end into the controller or whatever?
All right, my PlayStation is on. I guess what we should do is we should now switch over to that screen for live testing. We're not in Mobius. We're not testing this in Mobius. Hold on. Or in Virtua Fighter. Here we are. Let me go ahead and change my webcam. Now I'm tiny. Okay. Think that's good? So, here we are on my PlayStation dashboard. So what's going to happen when I plug this sucker in? Do you think it's going to work? It's supposed to. It's supposed to be plug and play. Works with PS5.
Any mic can probably work with
it, which is fine. But I hope that it works plug and play. It says right on it that it works with PS5. So we're going to go plug it in, and we're going to see what happens, how it reacts.
Wait, you're plugging into the console? Bro. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like, ain't there like a USB-C port in the actual controller itself? Aren't you supposed to plug it into the fucking controller, not the console? Like, I might be wrong because I don't really use mics and headsets on my PS5, so I don't really 100% know, but I thought you're supposed to plug into the controller. LAN cable. Oh my god. He's not supposed to plug it into the console, is he?
Yeah. Whoa. Well, wait till you see this thing. This thing's going to be distracting. Are you ready to look at this thing? Look at this.
What? Oh my god, really?
It changes colors in a gradient pattern. Look at that. So now
It also thinks it's a LAN cable for some reason.
Now it's going to green and blue.
Oh my god. Are we gonna watch this whole thing? Oh my god.
I don't think there's any way
Get
to
your
stop that either.
shitty ass Temu fucking mic out
so
of here.
apparently there's 2 features of this microphone, okay? Feature number 1 is if you just tap it on the top, it mutes it. So now the microphone is muted. But now if I tap it again, now supposedly it's on again. So that's how you turn it on and off, okay?
No shit.
The other feature is at the bottom, there's a built-in gain knob, so I can turn it left or right.
The other feature is that if you speak into it, it'll record what you're saying. What?
To adjust the volume gain on the microphone automatically. Okay, on the fly.
Okay, alright.
So that's the microphone. That's what it looks like. Okay.
Yep, that's a
So
mic.
it's weird. I don't know why they put the LED light in there or what purpose it serves, but there you go. Hey, for Pride Month, which starts today, I guess I have the Pride mic here.
Oh my
Right?
god.
Don't ask me why that's
With the
needed, but
bisexual
okay.
color flag.
There you go.
Trying to tell us something there, Phil?
Trying to get this cord out of the way. It's huge.
Huge.
All right. So now, how do I test this thing? I believe that there's microphone settings, correct? So if I go to, let's see, accessories, Bluetooth, turn.
Did you see that? Do you see how bad his capture card
So
is?
if I go to, let's see.
Look at that. It's just screen tearing really bad. And that's, I think, his
Bluetooth, turn
capture
off
card,
advanced,
not
controller,
because...
media, other accessories. Keyboard, mouse, camera, no. General, advanced settings?
He is
No.
very special.
How do I see this microphone and test it? Voice command, I don't want to voice command it. How does this work? Sound? Microphone, aha.
Aha.
Yes, it detected it. It says USB microphone, Fi-Fine microphone. So it did detect it automatically, okay? So microphone status when logged in on. This setting might not work for some devices that have mute functions. Right, because I can auto mute it by doing this. Oh, now it's, okay. You have to tap it right in the middle.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
you can tap it. Okay. So.
There is a button on the PS5 controller that can mute your mic. By the way, the PS5 controller has a built-in mic in it. He didn't need to buy a whole new mic anyway because he has a fucking mic in the PS5 controller. God damn. But there's a button on the controller that can mute your mic through that button. It mutes the mic. I usually have that on, so I mute everything because I don't want to accidentally be talking while I'm playing an online game. You know? But yeah.
I don't even know what that means. Microphone status. When starting voice chat or broadcast, switch to mute. I don't know what that means. Adjust the microphone level. Whoa, oh, it's working. Well, the microphone is definitely working. Now, what about this built-in gain?
What about the echo? Was Brian seriously hearing that the whole fucking time? Was he hearing an echo?
So I turned it all the way down, and as you can see, it's not registering my voice at all. If I turn it a little bit up, all right, so now, whoa. So look at that. So I only turned it a tiny bit, and it's already registering my voice like really strongly, right? Like really strong. See that? Oh, there's echo? Okay, hold on, because I can't hear it.
Because you're an idiot.
Testing. Test. Hello. I am in a tunnel. It is very echoey.
It is.
Hi. Hello. Yo. Snoochie boochies.
What?
The reason that you're hearing echo is because my microphone for the PC is delayed by 200 milliseconds. My webcam isn't fast enough to be live in the video feed, so I have to delay this very slightly. If there was no delay on my microphone, it should be simultaneous. Like, you'd actually hear it both, you see? So, okay, here's what we'll do. Ready? Here's what we're going to do. Okay, so I have muted my microphone.
Oh, that sounds so
all you're hearing
bad.
now is my voice through the PS5. I wonder how it sounds. I don't know if it's echoey or not. You guys tell me, how does this sound?
Oh, that sounds so
What is the
bad.
quality here? And as you can see, I'm not synced with the webcam.
Wait.
And as you can see or not, you guys tell me, how does this sound? What is the quality here? And as you can see, I'm not synced with the webcam.
Actually, you are. It's not out of sync. Am I not seeing
What is
that?
the quality here? And as you can see, I'm not synced with the webcam.
It is. You are synced with it. What are you talking about?
It doesn't sound great.
Or if it isn't synced, just like couple micro milliseconds unsynced, and who gives a shit about that?
Sounds tinny.
Sounds really
sounds
bad.
robotic. So no echo, but it's low. Okay. Testing. Testing.
Oh my god. Why are you doing this on stream?
Testing. There you go. So this is the quality of a $40 mic. And I don't think there's any adjustments to make it sound better. Like, nothing's going to make it sound studio quality.
Actually, that's a lie. Because there are filters on OBS to make your mic sound a lot better. You can buy the cheapest piece of shit mic you can find. Go to Walmart, whatever. And you can go on OBS and you can add the filters to make it sound a lot better than what it sounds like baseline without it. He is obviously not running it through any filters. It's just straight into PS5. And now, before you get into it, like, there is a virtual cable that you can use with OBS to transport the sound of your mic with the filters to other programs. So I have it set up for my Discord. So whenever I'm in a video call on my Discord, they are hearing me with my audio filters that I have for my mic. So they're not just hearing me, like if I'm on Discord, they are not just hearing me with the base mic by itself without any filters added to it. They are hearing me with all my preferred filters and how I want it to sound set up. And I'm pretty sure you can do that to the PS5 as well as just Discord. Because you can do it to Discord, but you can also do it to the PS5. So there actually is a way to like monkey with the filters and get it to actually sound decent. Even though it's a cheap, crappy mic, you can still get it to sound a lot better just by monkeying with the filters a little bit and doing what I did. So that's a lie.
And can you imagine if you were just like using this to capture for like commentary on videos and stuff?
And I'm still hearing an echo. Like I'm still hearing an echo there, Phil. Because I think he shut this mic off and he's talking into this mic, but you're still also hearing the sound from the neck phone thing also being picked up by the mic, which is really dumb. That's why when you record, like I am right now, I'm using headphones. Because if I was recording this with just my speakers on, obviously my mic would pick up the speakers as well. And then it would sound terrible. In fact, do you want to hear what that sounds like? Let's play a little game. I am Phil and I'm an idiot. So I am going to turn the speakers on and you get to hear what it sounds like when I don't use my headphones. Okay, let's have fun.
And can you imagine if you were just like using this to capture?
Can you imagine if I just did this all the time? I am streaming like this. Does this sound good? I'm Philip.
I sound like a Fallout 1 voiced character.
I am using my speakers. I can even turn it up.
Your mic sounds like you're in a warehouse.
It sounds like I'm in a warehouse right now. Isn't this great?
Generation
This
Z
echo?
says,
This echo
one
isn't
of the
bothering
voices
you
hear
guys,
at
is
airports
it?
when traveling. Nice. No, I didn't go with the Blue Yeti. I saw Blue Yeti.
See, because I'm not speaking, and obviously the speakers are picking up the audio from my mic is picking up the audio from the speakers, because that's why I don't do it this way, because it's really stupid. Obviously, that's why it's preferred to use headphones. Not a shitty neck phone either. That doesn't count.
$80. This was 30 something. And again, I'm only going to be using this mic for voice chat with like Brian when we do co-op. I'm not doing it to capture my voice for videos except for right now. So I don't see the point of getting a much better mic. So here's what it looks like.
Only the best for poor Brian, though, am I right?
It's glowing. You can still hear me. Even though I'm bringing it away from my face, it still picks up audio. How about hold on, try this. Testing. It still picks up backwards.
Oh, sounds terrible.
Backwards too. Testing.
Yeah, because different types of mics have different like fields that you can talk into. So like I'm using a Blue Yeti right now, and I have it set up to where it's sitting on my desk and facing the front, and I'm talking to the front of it, right? Because I have it set up to mostly pick up audio from the front of the mic. And if I was here, let me actually do it. I can't hear this, by the way. Sorry. I know that was a little loud. I don't like to record hearing myself talk while I'm recording. So I don't know what this is sounding like at all. I mean, this is just normal. I haven't turned it yet. But I have no idea what this is going to sound like at all until I watch it back or whatever, right? But I have it my mic currently set up to where it only really hears audio from the sides and the front. It's not going to hear very well at all from the back because they have different settings to adjust the different fields of audio. You can have it to where it picks up audio from all around the entire mic, or you can have it to where it's in the front. So if I turn my mic around like this, I don't know if this sounds any different right now because I'm not listening to myself talk, right? Like, I know in OBS you have an option to either, like, mute that or not, to where it's like, obviously other people can hear you talk, but I don't want to hear myself talk in my headphones while I'm recording. That distracts me. I don't know if this sounds any different, but I'm putting it back to the front so it's facing the front. But yeah, every mic has that option, I think, to at least change it somewhat. So if you want it to capture all the way around you, or if it's just in the front. But yeah.
It picks up better from the front, but it still picks it up from the back. Yeah. Attention all American Airlines passengers. Flight 302 bound for Toledo, Ohio is boarding at gate 8 at this time. All priority flight passengers who paid lots of extra money to board 5 seconds early, please get your dumbasses onto the plane right now.
Why is that funny?
It does sound like it. You're right. Why? It's so metallic and echoey. So now let's test the feature. If I tap the mic, it should mute. So if I need to clear my throat, if I need to sneeze, if I want to say something just to you guys and not...
But that won't... You don't extend that... You don't extend that to your actual streams. When you're actually streaming by yourself... Wait. So if he needs to sneeze, if he needs to snort or cough, he'll mute it for Brian, but he won't mute it for his chat. He won't go to the same lengths to provide a better listening experience for his chat, but he will extend that courtesy to Brian so Brian doesn't have to hear that. That's a little weird, isn't it?
To the person I'm doing co-op with, I tap the mic.
So Brian doesn't have to hear all the snorts, belches, burps, coughs, but we get to still hear all that. Because we would still be hearing it through that other mic.
We're good again. See that? Why do I always reference Toledo? Because Toledo is a great place to be. Have you ever been there? It's amazing. So many good things.
Probably
there.
some old 90s joke from a movie or something.
All right. So, I have a microphone that works with PS5. What I'll do is, hopefully, this works with Discord. Because the way that Brian and I are going to talk to each other is with the Discord integration in PS5.
Brian!
He's on PC, I'm on PS5. We're going to be playing cross-platform. So the only way we can voice communicate is to use a third-party software like Discord. I already synced my Discord to my PS5. I've just literally never used it to voice chat once. So I don't know what it sounds like. We're going to have to kind of mess with that and figure it out.
How have you never voice chatted on Discord before? Holy shit.
Well, this is the best that we can do for $40, right?
I don't want to spend too much on them.
I could get like a blue.
Actually, it's not the best you can get because, again, like I said, there are filters and you can port the same filter quality audio into PS5 if you really wanted to.
Blech. A Blue Yeti, but honestly, for as infrequently as I'm going to be using it, I don't know if it's worth it.
What about your wife, Phil? If you got another, and that's the other fucked up thing too. It's like, how the hell has he been streaming and doing content creation for 15 fucking years, and he only had one motherfucking microphone? one motherfucking microphone. I've been doing this for what, a year? Year and a half? And I have 3. 3! Because I was fiddling around with different ones and I wanted to see which one I liked the best. And obviously I settled with a Blue Yeti because, I mean, that was the most expensive one out of all the ones I do have. Because the first one I got was a really shitty one from Walmart for like $20. And that one sucked. So bad. So then I got a different one from Amazon for like 40-something bucks. And it was okay, but it wasn't that great. And then I saved up and got a Blue Yeti. But how the hell do you only have one fucking mic? And then on top of that, he bought a whole ass new chair for his wife for when they did the 2 co-op streams together. Even though he has another gaming chair by his desktop in the same room. Because he has this new chair that he uses now, right? But he still has that gamer black and red chair that he got for free from being a sponsor with the OP Seats or whatever the hell it was called. Why didn't he use that or let her use that? Like, what? I mean, of course he's not going to upgrade anything, but come on. Why would you still... And I think, if I remember, like, everything of his is obviously out of date, right? The mic is still old. The web camera is still old. The controllers are old. Everything he uses is fucking old as fuck. But he claims that, oh, I upgraded everything. I'm like, you went from a super outdated model to a still outdated model. It's not like it's top of the line or anything. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, especially for the shit content he makes anyway. But like, he doesn't even bother to like enhance the equipment he currently has. Like I said with the whole filter thing on OBS. Like, I use filters on OBS to make myself sound at least a little bit better. Hold on, actually, where are my filters? Can I just show you guys temporarily? Hold on. I forgot where to go to do that. I gotta pick the source. Hold on, where's my mic? I forgot where to go to do that. Holy crap. Audio. It's been so long since I had to do it, I forgot how to do it. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. There we go. Filters. So here's me talking normally, and then I'm going to temporarily disable all my audio filters, and you can tell me if it sounds any different. So this is me talking normally, and then I'm going to temporarily disable. 1. Okay, and now this is me raw without any of the filters added. I temporarily disabled every single filter for my microphone. And you guys can tell me if this sounds any different than how I normally talk. Because I can't hear myself right now, so I'll have to... Oh, yeah, it's peaking. It is going in the red now. Because of my limiter. Because I have a limiter that usually prevents it from going in the red, but now it is going in the red, so I'm probably accidentally blowing your ears out. My apologies. But yeah. There's a bunch of different filters you can fiddle with on OBS. I'm quieting my voice down so I'm not blowing your ears out. But so obviously you can do things to make your mic sound better than what it actually does. But of course he doesn't know how to do any of that, and he doesn't want to do any of that. So yeah. All right, back to normal. Sorry about that. If I blew your ears out, I didn't mean to.
Keep in mind, there's another problem we're not even thinking about. Do you want to know what it is? We're going to test it right now. Ready? Here's going to be the problem.
Yeah, it's too much work, man. You didn't know how to do that.
Because I'm not just going to be sitting here talking.
And you know what? It took me like 10 minutes to watch a YouTube video to figure out how to do that. Like, I didn't know how to do that before I started making videos on DSP. Like, before I started actually making videos and streaming, I didn't know how to do any of this shit. So, like, in a way, it's thanks to DSP that I know how to do this stuff. But again, I just watched a 10-minute video, and now I know how to do it.
To Brian, I'm going to be playing Street Fighter.
And it's weird, though, like, how many different, like, types of skills you start to learn how to do because inadvertently because of Phil. Like, because you want to make videos of Phil, you, like, pick up these different skills and shit like that, and it's kind of cool. Because, like, we're bettering ourselves over here because of how much of a douchebag this fucker is.
This joystick talking to Brian. So what's that going to sound like? This.
Oh my god. No, it's more irrational. You mashing the fucking buttons more. Really, bro? And you never cared about that before.
Son of a bitch, you mashing piece of shit. How dare you mash out that drive impact?
Nah, you wouldn't dare talk to Brian that way.
That's what it'll sound like.
He's your cash cow. You wouldn't talk to him that way.
Well, let
Oh,
me tell
whoa.
you something, brother.
That was a little glitchy. Hold on. Couldn't find my mouse. Oh, it's the same one anyway. Whatever.
Well, let me tell you something,
Hold on a
brother.
second. That was an abrupt ending to that. What? Alright, we got the dense scrollers. Are you guys happy? Fuck the dense scrollers. Fuck the side scrollers. But, yeah, I guess they're talking about DSP again. So, I know this was like, what, a couple weeks ago, actually. But, yeah, let's see what they have to say. Let's hear what Scamming Greg has to say right now.
The day. What does everybody know DSP for? Flash, what do you know DSP for?
The same thing I know you for, scamming and begging.
Playing games badly and e-begging.
I don't know who this guy is.
Right. Okay. A lot of complaining, right? We had him on the show. We did an interview with him a long time ago. And I'm going to tell you this. Well, I'll hold on to that just a second.
And what do I know you for? What was it? Make games great again or some bullshit like that? Like that fake ass fucking award show you tried to pull that was a total fucking con?
He's also known for whacking it. Because he did it on stream. Remember, what was it? Oh, the camera's on. Is that what the idea was? Right?
Camera's been on the whole time, huh?
That's right.
How did he not make a shirt for that, too, by the way?
Listen.
It sells itself,
These are
Greg.
100%.
He's a good businessman. That's why.
Make a shirt that says, "Oh, the camera's on." I think that'd be funny.
No.
Just that face. All right. Well,
just like how you guys made a Beat
another
Your Demons
streamer,
shirt.
A Fortnite pro player had another "Oh, the camera's on" moment, which is just absolutely shocking. This is.
Did Nick
yes,
Ricciata,
yes.
like Nick Ricciata, have that too?
First off,
oh my gosh.
Why do these people have in the background, like, why do they always put their beds there? In
The background makes it better.
Yeah. So here's the guy. He's literally lying down. He's got his iPhone up and he's jerking his gherkin over here on his bed. And like he's still live. Like he's just going hard on his pickle over here.
Oh, the camera's still on, huh?
What's your thoughts
Camera's
on
still on?
this?
What a moron.
I mean, that's obvious, right?
I mean, why are you asking the token woman who actually isn't even allowed to talk most of the time on your show what she thinks about that? Where's everyone else? It seems like everyone else from the side scrolls is basically left.
How does this happen?
It's good promotion for Fortnite.
What do you mean, how does this happen? Obviously, he thought he was off camera and was like, yeah! And you know, the rest happened.
Watching
Yeah, but
Harry
how do you-
Potter
how do you
porn,
not
maybe,
know
huh,
that
Blabs?
That
Ask
you're not
DSP.
lying. I mean, this is...
Yeah, I don't get that either because it literally tells you when you're online or not. I almost wonder if he did it for a little promotion.
I wonder if DSP did it too for
He
promotion,
had
because I
his
know a lot of
phone,
people
right?
think he did
So how many
ads.
people are like, "You're live, you're live"? What is that? No! Why?
And it's like, depending on what kind of webcam you have, most of them have like a big, obviously recognizable light saying, hey, it might be recording right now.
Was he streaming on Twitch?
Put that away.
Where was he streaming?
Hey, Flash, I'm gonna put this in the private chat for you, okay? And you didn't. And I can't show this on stream.
Oh no.
This looks and sounds so wrong, especially when I said put that away.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. Let's see what I'm gonna do. I can't show it on YouTube.
No shit, you
I
can't.
can't show it on YouTube, but I will put it in the chat if anybody would like to check it out.
How is it still this long?
I can't even tell. Look at that.
There, I put it in the YouTube chat. There you go, chat. Go wild.
Sorry, it's really that funny. Oh yeah.
Rumble.
Yeah, I'll need to put it in local.
And locals.
Oh my
I
god.
got them all.
Sorry. Thank you very much. Oh wow, that's awesome. That's so freaking funny. Anyways, I just had to giggle when seeing that. Oh my god, sorry. Ludicrous. Thanks, I'll pass. That's right. Yeah, a lot of you guys are smart to pass. It's funny though.
Can you put it away, please? Remove it from your shared screen. Like, we don't need to keep staring at it.
Sorry. Can you put it away, please? Those who see it. See it.
Those are getting clipped.
Oh,
my god.
I'll never understand this phenomena. So it's like the last thing I'm thinking of right after, just finished streaming. I better go directly to the side of the room and masturbate. Or like DSP, I better whack one out before the stream starts. What the fuck is going on?
Gotta make sure I clear my head. Gotta clear my head before I go live.
No,
Here
but
we
there's
go.
even more to this because he's got his phone on him, right? So you don't think he'd be
I
getting
don't know. After this
notifications
stream,
from
I'm actually
viewers
probably
and
gonna make
everything?
me
Yeah,
a
but at the
small
top of the
sandwich or
screen, right?
something.
People be texting
Oh,
him
I
or
I haven't
something.
eaten in a long time.
Oh,
Because it would blow my phone up.
aren't you so popular? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like he could have been warned, and he chose to ignore it.
Oh my god, it's so freaking.
I think
funny.
he did this on purpose. Then
It tells you you're live or not in the corner.
Mhm.
You know, like
Yep.
Okay, well, that's
Yep.
why I think it was might have been done intentionally.
that's what I'm saying. I think this
My
is
theory.
Yeah,
I think this is all.
you think this guy was smart enough to do that? Be like, I'm gonna let it go on stream, and I'm gonna blow up because I'm gonna blow up after I blow up. But the thing is, who is the guy? Because they don't include it on the thread. And the guy already has like I did as I scrolled down saw some of the posts saying who the guy was. He has like 30,000
I mean, that's probably
followers
like
over
an
on X.
instant
So,
Kiwi
you know,
Farmers thread made on you.
Yeah,
Probably.
Nice streaming platform.
Let's see. He's from Germany. I'm finding him now. He has 272.
Now I think even more that it was done intentionally.
He has 272,000 subscribers over on YouTube, and he's
a lot.
sponsored by Logitech. So
Probably not anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say not anymore. Yeah.
Oh no. Well, let's go from one master streamer and masturbator to another master streamer and masturbator. Darksydephil was in the news this week, and well, not really in the news, but on my timeline this week. And he occasionally shows up as people say stuff. And let me say this about Phil. We had him on the show over a year ago. A lot of people look at that as like kind of the coup de grace of like, the Phil storyline, right? There's like a lot of things that came out of that. And we all know Phil doesn't want to come back on the show. He's really upset about the way that we talked about the interview.
Adam scared him.
Yeah, Adam scared him. And,
mean.
So
I mean,
this was-
Adam was the only reason that interview was a good interview because Craig was lobbing a lot of softball questions at him. So like Adam was the one keeping that fucking on track.
Phil, I'm assuming over the weekend. And I can't even fathom saying this to any sort of audience online. But this is Phil in a nutshell. Here is 21 seconds of Phil being Phil.
I have a setup that can do all high-end stuff. I'm playing fighting games with no lag. I'm playing all these games at high resolution, high frame rate, best quality. Not upgrade my audio. I'm doing
They are not the best quality. They are not the best frame rate, Phil. You're seeing stuff maybe in a good frame rate, in a good quality, but that's not transferring to your audience, dummy. And the whole fucking like confusion between like frames per second and the hertz or whatever of his TV is insane.
He told me I was bad at it. So where is everyone? Exactly. Right? What are you doing? What was everyone doing tonight? What was wrong with Hades 2 that people didn't want to come by the stream? And I'm not
Oh yeah, I remember
angry.
this.
I want answers.
How dare you not see me stream? Ah!
So he's really upset that people didn't come and watch his stream because he's playing Hades 2. And he has all the tech scored away. He's playing games with no latency, right? Perfect. He has awesome, high quality everything. And I just feel like at the end of the day, it's, well, you see, Phil, it's your personality.
I'm a savage.
I mean, but that's the reality of it. Like, I don't understand how anybody could treat their audience that poorly and still survive. You know, what's the whole, like, he's like the cockroach of the internet, he's gonna survive everybody. I don't understand how you can talk to people like that. And still, what's that?
He's got a small, dedicated group of people that want to finance him. I think it makes them feel good.
Yeah, basically, they're like, if they are like suckers for being abused, they love being abused. His actual fans, what little actual fans he has left, are suckers for abuse.
Like they're
And
supporting
they've been
him.
conditioned to it.
In the same way that like these dudes support some of these OnlyFans chicks, like they're getting some kind of like thing out of it. It's like, you know, how they like providing for women or something. It's strange.
Or it's like, yeah, maybe he's right. Maybe it's like a domination type thing where it's like, oh, his fans, DSP's fans, get off on being submissive to their overlord Phil or something like that.
That's the only thing I can think of. Is they're there because they think they're doing a good thing by supporting him or something? Because half of his stream is lectures on why they should support him.
Maybe we should start doing that. I think that'd be a good thing. We should just start yelling at people for not supporting it.
I mean,
maybe that's what we do.
Might
We
as
should
well.
start
You're
doing
already
it.
begging like he is.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, it was really amazing to see. And like I said, if this was flip Phil with anybody else on the internet, right? That would be on the front page of Drama Alert or Dexerto or whatever. You know, of look at how ungrateful this streamer is. But for Phil, it's like par for the course. This is what you expect from him.
Yeah, it's not even the worst he's done. That's just like a normal fucking day.
To watching Phil's stream that get more views than Phil's streams because they just want to watch the absolute train wreck. Anyways,
there is a large group of people that want to watch train wrecks, but they don't usually throw money.
No, they don't. They support the people who are laughing at him. You know, and I think that's the most amazing thing about it. I will say this: I saw that clip, and I literally started typing an email to Phil. And the email I deleted it because I was like, he's not going to listen. There's nothing good can come from this, right? I started the email and I was like, Phil, and then I like, it's something to the effect of like, what are you doing? How can you talk to people like this? Like, you need help. And I included a clip to it, and then I was like, I spent like 30 seconds on it, just real quick writing it up, and then I just deleted it. I was like, there's nothing good that will come from this at all. You know, like, he's not going to respond. It's not going to be open to.
Oh no, he would have made like a whole fucking second podcast. Like the next day, he would have made a huge fucking podcast bitching and talking shit about Adam.
And I was reaching out to him privately too. That was the idea. Was I had no intention of bringing him on the show. I just want to be like, dude, how can you talk to people like this? But I decided to delete it because at the end of the day, it's like, dude's a lost cause. It is what it is. So it is whatever. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Hey, check this out. Sigrun came in, says with the $20 super chat, says DSP used all his stat and skill points in the quote beat the IRS, and it paid off some time ago. He min-maxed for one specific situation and somehow got into the path where that skill would be helpful. Thanks, Sigrun. Appreciate that. Thanks so much for your $20 super chat. That is awesome.
All right. I think this video here will probably be my last video for today. And then I'm gonna end the stream because it's getting a little late, and I still need to get my dinner.
The hate army troll.
It's the hate army, bro. Hate army.
Shout out
to
hate.
Good vibes to the
Shout
hate
out to
army.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out to hate.
That and the whole Keffals react took a bit longer than I
I have
anticipated.
a hilarious topic to talk about YouTube. In fact, just to confirm, I just want to check something quickly.
God, I hate this shirt. This shirt sucks.
Okay. So,
like little
funny thing happened this morning.
Like,
You
I
may
know
have
this.
noticed,
I know there's supposed to be anchors, but they just look like little umbrellas or something, or like little mushrooms, or just teas, really fancy looking little teas.
I've remembered that about a week ago, maybe a
Rest
little
in
over a week
peace,
ago
tea.
I explained to you guys that YouTube had done a big oopsie poopsie as they were recoding the site, trying
Who
to.
the fuck talks like that? Come on, Phil. But I'm a mature adult, and all my fans are mature adults. They're not kids. I'm not a children's entertainer. Well, guys, it looks like YouTube did a little oopsie poopsie. Like, who talks like this?
Improve stuff. They accidentally broke everyone's @address links. Meaning, if you wanted to go to a YouTube channel, like my React channel, which is youtube.com/@DSPReacts, if you typed that into a web browser, it would give you a 404 error as if the channel had been removed from YouTube, even though it hadn't and was still fully functional. This kind of thing literally happens all the time. YouTube
All
is one of
the time. All the time. You know, I never actually noticed that. I didn't know there was an @ I didn't notice there was an @ when you type the name in, because like I always just be like, oh, I want to search for memology, so I'll just search memology DSP, and then I click on the channel and I watch the shit. I never actually type the name of the channel in the actual address bar. I always just go to the search and I'll just instantly search. Or I'll just go on my subscription or home, and usually I'll find it somewhere like on there, right? And look, it's all mostly fucking DSP shit. And a zoo file. Not that I'm supporting a zoo file, someone's talking about a zoo file. And flamenco, because I was just watching, I was researching flamenco. But anyway, I didn't know that there was actually a @ symbol there. I thought it was just youtube.com/whoever. That's how I thought it was anyway.
businesses out there that they don't test anything. I'm just going to repeat that. They literally don't test anything before they launch it. They just launch it.
So
and
go
hope
to
for the
Rumble
best.
then.
And
Go to
half
Kick.
The time when they do something and
I
change it,
dare you
they
to go to
screw it all
fucking
up.
Kick
And then
instead,
what
Phil.
happens is we're the end user beta testers of their fuck ups, and then we have to figure out what they broke, report it to them, and then they'll fix it after the fact without ever admitting that they did any wrong. Okay?
So what do you want? An apology?
Well, you might say, well, you know, for like 4 or 5 days, not being able to access a YouTube channel via the @ address isn't that big of a deal. Well,
It's not. Most people, I think, use the search bar. They don't really even use the typing in the fucking address. Who uses the typing in the address? Either they have a YouTube channel like in the bookmarks, or they'll just search it up on YouTube if they aren't already subscribed to you, right? Because like I always just go to my subscription list and see what's new, you know? Or if I'm looking for actual clips, then I'll search for Hate Army or Memology or whoever.
Right, because if you had subscribed to a channel, it still showed up.
I never
You
type
still
it
were getting
in.
notifications of the videos still showed up, still revenue was still made. The only difference was you couldn't access it from the @ link. So some people erroneously actually thought that channels had been like deleted from YouTube when they had. Okay?
If only yours had been,
unfortunately,
Phil.
that happened. It took about a week.
Because I didn't. I mean, obviously, I didn't notice about this.
But everything
because
was
I
kinda
don't
broken
type
for
it
about
in.
a week, including everyone who used those links for stuff like I did, and they were all broken. But I fixed it basically. Okay.
I fixed
okay.
it.
So, why am I bringing this up? Because
Yeah,
this
why are
week, YouTube had another oopsie poopsie. Only this one really had
Stop
people freaking
fucking
out.
saying that. You claim to be a mature fucking adult. You claim your audience is adults and not kids. Just say they had a fuck up.
Okay? This morning, YouTube decided to recode both their app API
Both.
as well as the channel API.
Both.
What does that mean? It means that the data feeds that we as YouTubers get to track statistics, like analytics, like how are my videos doing? How many views did they get? How much engagement? How much money? All of that.
I guarantee you he checks that shit all the fucking time. I don't give a shit, so I never check my shit. I'm like maybe months and months later I'll go and check randomly. I'm like, oh, that video did good. Oh, that video didn't do good. Okay. But like I don't check that shit on a regular basis. Like most people I think probably don't unless they're Phil. Because obviously Phil does. He's sitting there like every day watching how his streams are doing and counting every fucking view his videos get.
They broke it all this morning. Okay? But the problem
Like,
was,
I'm streaming to one motherfucker right now. Do you think I care? No, I don't care how many people are watching this video or not. I'm doing it because it's fun. And thank you, random concurrent viewer, for watching this right now. I appreciate your watch. I really do. I appreciate anyone who's watching this live or after the fact, right? But, like, I don't really care how many views I get or not, because this isn't my job. I'm not reliant on this for income. I'm not monetized.
was they fixed part of it right away, but then it took them over 2 hours to fix another part of it. So
And
the API was
to put yourself at such a risk of the whims of the YouTube algorithm like that is a major fucking risk. And you should always have a side hustle or a backup or a part-time job on the side or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like you should never just fully 100% rely on YouTube only. It's so stupid that it does
broken
that.
for maybe 10 minutes when it came to views and everything. So everyone's channel showed 0, as if no one had any videos.
And I bet you anything, if he actually if he actually went back on Twitch and dual streamed both on Twitch and on YouTube, he would probably make more money. I guarantee you he probably would. Because you don't have to be a partner to make money, right? And he always asks for tips anyway, so it's not like he's making a whole lot. So, like, if he was to try to apply for affiliate and not partner, but actual affiliate, again, on Twitch, he would probably get it, I would think. And then he would probably make way more money both on Twitch and on YouTube. Unless he already tried to do that before in secret and he wasn't granted affiliate, and that's why he's still on YouTube now. So we don't know if he actually did that behind the scenes, and that's why he never went back, or what. But even if he did it without being an affiliate, without being a partner on Twitch, he would still probably get a decent amount of money just in the tips alone. If he tells people on Twitch, hey, if you're on Twitch and you're watching me, just tip me. You can't give me bits or anything like that.
Then they fixed that, okay? But guess what they broke? Revenue. So this morning, between the hours of like 8 a.m. to around like 10:45, 11 a.m., okay? If you tried to check your YouTube channel for any kind of revenue data, it basically said that you made $0 or any revenue, if you're pounds, whatever it is, from the days of April 14th until today. All of your data was erased. You could click around.
He probably shit his pants when he saw that too. He's like, oh fuck, I am fucked. Like, he probably
they all read as $0.
Shit his
click on your
shorts.
membership,
Holy crap.
0.
It's
Click
like,
on ad
oh
revenue,
my God.
0. It all deleted.
Yeah, he got
So
super
people started to
paranoid
freak
when
out.
he
You can
saw
actually take a
that.
look, if you look at the X app and you look at people posting YouTube revenue for like a 2-hour
Yeah,
span,
Chalky, that's what
people
I'm
kept
saying. He definitely
tagging,
would.
You know, the YouTube creators account were freaking out. Like, what the hell is going on? Am I losing my revenue? What's happening?
And I've said it before, if he drops the facade that he has, that he's this wholesome guy and how he's changed and all this other bullshit, and just like went full mask off, went to Rumble or Kick, and just became like an angry, irate piece of shit like Ethan Ralph or all these Nick Fuentes or any of these other losers on Reddit, or not Reddit, fucking on Cozy TV or Rumble or Kick, and just went full on, he probably wouldn't even have to do like video games anymore. He could just be like a drama person, and he would probably make a shitload more money on Rumble or Kick, being like an angry kind of Alex Jones type piece of shit, like blowhard, like fucking Ethan Ralph, and he would probably make more fucking money. Just do the equivalent of the kill stream and make a bunch of money that way. Be like one of those commentators or whatever. And he probably would be more successful.
What the hell? Why would they do that?
But no, he's over
But
here
then after about
pretending
2
that
hours or
he
so, it
is
started
like
to start to slowly load,
changed
now,
and
as of
all this other
it
shit
actually
when he's
works again.
not. We all
So
know he's
is
not.
this
It's
a
all
huge
fake.
deal? No, but just imagine that you're like a YouTuber and like this is the time a week where you do your work.
Oh,
or
okay.
whatever,
Is he?
you know?
I haven't really been keeping
look,
up
I
with
need
Ethan Ralph
$0 for a
lately.
whole month. Like, what is going on? Someone like me, yeah, this would affect me huge. Imagine if they screwed up and it wasn't a 2-hour screw up, but a 2-week screw up. Well, I'm supposed to get paid next
He
week.
probably missed the
How am I gonna
boat in it
pay
then,
my
because
bill?
like just like not that many years ago, like people like that were doing pretty well for themselves. I guess it's dying out a bit.
If I don't get paid by YouTube
Or
because they screwed up their API, and
oversaturated,
revenue
maybe.
data, right? So This is a problem. YouTube infamously makes these F-ups, and then they try to fix them hurriedly after the fact. There's going to be a day when they're going to break something and they can't fix it right away. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is dumb that they just allow.
Well, there are days when Phil only gets like $40 a stream.
How do you let them break all the data on the site? They literally broke every piece of data and then had to hurriedly within 3 hours fix it. It's like, that is so dumb. So anyway, is it a huge deal? No, it's not, because they did fix it right away. But it's just another example of YouTube always screwing up this whole site.
Why are you always biting the hand that feeds you, though, Phil? Like, when he was on Twitch, he shit-talked Twitch all the time. And now that he's back on YouTube, he's shit-talking YouTube constantly. I'm like, they aren't gonna change because you don't like them, Phil. So it's like, why are you shit-talking them when they're the ones paying your fucking bills all the time?
To fix it fast, it's just dumb. And it's
like either go to a different website or shut the fuck up.
At one point, they are going to make an error.
Because you're still going to take their money.
Something's going to hit
of course
the fan,
he is.
You know what I'm saying? But for now, at least, it was just kind of a temporary thing. For me, I was eating breakfast. Like, for me, I wasn't freaking out or anything. I was like, so I'm at my bagel, and I go to check my videos. I'm like, oh, there's like no data at all on this. Oh, that's
because you can tell he checks that way too often. He's like super nervous. Like, if you even look at the way he's acting, he's I mean, obviously he always does it, but like he always jitters around. He's shaking. He's scratching at his beard. Like, these are all signs of like an addict, like itching for the next fix. We all know his obviously addiction is gacha and WWE champions, as well as probably begging, because begging for him is probably an addiction at this point too.
Weeks ago, remember, it hit the YouTube algorithm and it currently has like 32,000 views and is still getting some residual views. I'm owed revenue on
because you clickbaited that video? Is that what you're talking about, Phil?
But YouTube tried to claim it for music, so I disputed it. Well, it's been 3 weeks, and guess what? YouTube still didn't grant the claim. It's still in the review process.
Oh my
which
God.
makes no sense because the criteria of YouTube says 2 weeks, but for some reason they hold it for a month anyway because they don't even abide by
So
their
he
own
still hasn't gotten paid for that clickbaiting Fallout 4 video where he lied basically and claimed it was a new updated version of it when it wasn't. Wow. Fuck you.
So I'm still waiting on that. And it's like every day I try to check. Hey,
I hope you don't get the money from that.
Video,
I really do.
how well it did, and it's nothing. You know, it's like, wow, nothing on that video. I can't make any revenue on it until they clear this up.
Womp womp.
But once again, I hope that everything is working. The reason I say that is we have 0 contributions on the YouTube side today. Not a single super chat, not a single membership, not even a membership notification.
Oh, it's working, Phil. It's working as intended.
So I hope that things are working because, like I said, YouTube was
straight into a fucking bag.
I do hope that everything's fine. I can't tell.
And I do hope everything is fine. Okay, guys.
Podcast, so that's why I'm a little nervous of maybe they broke it or something. I hope they didn't.
I'm a little nervous,
I really hope they
guys.
fucking didn't.
They done fucked up.
I saw this morning, like I said, I tried to open one of my videos in another browser and an ad did play, and I was like, okay, so it must be working.
Okay, the ads are working. All right, good. All right. All right, that's...
Save the pig.
No, stop. All right, that's it for this video, or this stream, I mean, stream video. Whether you're watching it live or you're watching it after the fact, thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you have a great weekend, a great week, whatever day of the week it is that you are watching this. I'll be back probably next week for another stream because I still got a lot to catch up today, or still got a lot to catch up to. Because I know this one ran quite long, but mostly that was because I was watching the Keffals mini documentary thing there. And that was went a little bit longer than I anticipated, so yep. And try to beat the heat, because it's at least here in New York, it's gonna be pretty freaking hot this week. So I'm not looking forward to that. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.